Chapter 698. The Breath of a Divine Dragon. I can't hold on any longer. Yang Hongwu roared, ready to give up. At this time, Yang Hongwu suddenly felt a pure energy enter his body. Yang Hongwu's mind power was originally exhausted, but this energy was like a sweet spring in the desert, replenishing Yang Hongwu's mind power. Spiritual vein. I didn't expect you to find a spiritual vein. The voice belonged to Sherbauer. Sherbauer had woken up and was frantically absorbing the energy of the spirit vein. Like a whale sucking in water, the entire spirit vein was sucked in at an even faster speed than the immortal pagoda. When Mystic Moon saw Sherbauer waking up and absorbing spiritual energy like crazy, she became anxious. This speed was even faster than her. If this continued, she wouldn't be able to get the most spiritual energy. Speed up, speed up, speed up for me. Xianyu went crazy for the sake of obtaining more spiritual qi. At this time, the great demon Saint Kong Qiu also reacted and began to circulate his martial arts to fight for the spirit qi. However, how could Yang Hongwu let him do as he wished? He snorted coldly and said, "Demon Saint Kong Qiu, your strength has already reached such a level. Do you still want to compete with me for spiritual energy? You don't need so much spiritual qi, right? Besides, my cultivation hasn't recovered yet. I need spiritual qi to recover my cultivation." Demon Saint Kong Qiu said, "Now that I've recovered my cultivation, my battle prowess has increased as well. It's good for you as well. In the witch world, danger is everywhere. If you don't have enough power, you'll definitely die. Every time I recover a little bit of my power, I'll have more chances of survival. I will also be in more danger," Yang Hongwu said coldly. "Isn't that so? If you dare to continue absorbing the spiritual qi from this spiritual vein, I won't be polite anymore." Seeing Yang Hongwu like this, there was nothing he could do. If Yang Hongwu really used that damnable secret technique to attack his soul, his injuries would probably worsen. The gains would not make up for the losses. "Forget it, I won't argue with you. If you don't want to absorb it, then so be it." After a while, the energy of the entire spirit vein was almost completely absorbed. Sherbauer's cultivation rose steadily, and the immortal pagoda's aura grew stronger and stronger. If Xianyu had not awakened before, the aura of the immortal pagoda would definitely have been sensed by others. But now that Xianyu had awakened, the aura of the immortal pagoda was controlled within a certain range. Therefore, no one could sense it. This was the greatest benefit of Yang Hongwu's awakening. It also meant that Yang Hongwu could use the immortal pagoda without worrying about being discovered by others. When Yang Hongwu's strength increased a little more, there was no need to worry. If he was strong enough, he would be able to unleash the power of the immortal pagoda and be in an invincible position. Therefore, the increase in the strength of the immortal tower's device spirit, Xianyu, would be of great help to Yang Hongwu. Soon, the spiritual qi was almost completely absorbed. The entire spirit vein had been completely refined. At this moment, Yang Hongwu felt a majestic energy erupt from the ground. The entire ground shook. As if there was a great earthquake, Xianyu leaped up. The immortal pagoda shrunk instantly, and a suction force pulled Yang Hongwu into the immortal pagoda. After entering the immortal pagoda, Yang Hongwu could feel the pure energy refining his body. Twice. After countless rounds of tempering, Yang Hongwu found that his cultivation base had risen once again. Level 4 Divine Realm. That's right, Yang Hongwu's cultivation had risen to the next level, reaching the 4th level of the Divine Realm. Master, the energy here can only increase your cultivation to this level for now. If you increase it any further, it will not be beneficial to your future cultivation, Xianyu said. At this moment, Sherbauer also appeared in the immortal pagoda. "I can increase it to another level," Sherbauer said. "That's right. I forgot about you. You can stabilize Master's cultivation and eliminate the hidden dangers in Master's body." Xianyu nodded. Once again, she released the pure energy to refine Yang Hongwu's body and increase his cultivation. After a dozen breaths, Yang Hongwu's cultivation had increased again. Yang Hongwu smiled bitterly. They didn't discuss it with him and just kept increasing his cultivation. This was crazy. Why didn't they discuss it with him? After all, it was his cultivation that was increasing. Boom! At this moment, a loud sound was heard. The immortal pagoda shook. What happened? Yang Hongwu asked. What was that? Before entering the immortal pagoda, a majestic energy had erupted from the ground. Yang Hongwu thought it was the last burst of energy from the spirit vein. But now, it seemed that it was not the case. What on earth had happened? Looking at Xian Yu and Baoer's solemn faces, Yang Hongwu knew that there was trouble. Could it be that a treasure had appeared in the depths of the spirit vein? What kind of treasure was it? Yang Hongwu was in the immortal pagoda and couldn't see what was happening outside. So, Yang Hongwu said, Xian Yu, let me see what's going on. No, it's too dangerous, Xian Yu said. I can feel it. It's the power of a dragon, Yang Hongwu said. It's the power of a divine dragon. At this moment, Yang Hongwu felt a very familiar power. It was the power of a dragon. This power was too familiar. It was exactly the same as the aura of the Dragon Ball he had obtained before. Could it be that there was another Dragon Ball? Yang Hongwu was ecstatic. If it was really a Dragon Ball, he would be rich. With another Dragon Ball, his strength would really increase by leaps and bounds. It wouldn't be difficult for him to break through the divine realm and enter the venerable realm. Divine dragon? Xian Yu was stunned. Baoer was also very surprised. Indeed, that power carried the aura of a dragon. It was very similar to the aura of Yang Hongwu's body. Could it be that it was really a divine dragon? However, that power was too terrifying. If it was an enemy, the immortal pagoda wouldn't be able to withstand it. Outside the immortal pagoda, Demon Saint Kong Qiu's face was extremely gloomy. He didn't expect that there would be such a terrifying aura. This aura was much stronger than his own. He wasn't a match for it all. This time, he was in big trouble. If they were to fight, Demon Saint Kong Qiu didn't have the slightest confidence. If his cultivation was at its peak, he might be able to fight it. But now, he only had 30% of his strength left. He was no match for it. Damn it, it's all Yang Hongwu's fault. Demon Saint Kong Qiu couldn't help but curse. He felt that the aura had locked onto him. There was no way for him to escape. Chapter 699. Mighty skeletal dragon demon Saint Kong Qiu was also very puzzled. How could there be a dragon's aura? He had been sealed here for so long, but he didn't feel anything at all. At first, he thought that this was a place that the old bastard, refined God Emperor, purposely found for him to seal him. He didn't expect that there was already a dragon sealed here before him. At this time, Luli woke up. She communicated with Yang Hongwu in his spiritual sea. No, it's not a real divine dragon. Luli, what's going on? Do you know? Yang Hongwu was very happy to see Luli wake up. Luli was originally an empress. Moreover, she was the empress of dragons. She was very clear about the dragons. Brother, this isn't a sealed divine dragon. It's just a piece of dragon bone. Luli said. A piece of dragon bone? Yang Hongwu was a little surprised. He asked, such a terrifying aura. How can it be just a piece of dragon bone? Look at the aura. It's too powerful. Even the great devil saint was forced to retreat. I'm afraid that even the great devil saint at his peak might not be able to deal with it. Of course, a real great emperor of dragons is very powerful. Even a piece of dragon bone is no small matter. If that piece of dragon bone has given birth to intelligence, it'll be even more terrifying. Although it can't be compared to the real body of that expert, it'll still be able to display 10% of the strength of the real body after many years of growth. That's also very terrifying. Luli said, if I'm not wrong, this piece of dragon bone must have given birth to its own intelligence. Or maybe it originally contained a strand of consciousness of that expert. This strand of consciousness was nourished by the spiritual vein and slowly grew until it reached its current level. You're saying that there's a strand of consciousness of that expert in this dragon bone? Yang Hongwu asked. Yes, brother. The owner of this dragon bone should be an earth-shattering expert. Judging from his aura, he should have lived in an era even older than my previous life. If I'm not mistaken, he should have lived in the immemorial era. He should be a super expert in the immemorial era. At that time, there were no 9 heavens and 10 earths. Luli said, and this piece of dragon bone was left behind and was nourished by a spiritual vein. If I'm not wrong, this spiritual vein shouldn't be an ordinary spiritual vein, but a powerful dragon vein. Dragon vein? Impossible. If it's a dragon vein, how can it not have the aura of a dragon vein? Moreover, if it's a powerful dragon vein, how can it be so weak? Yang Hongwu shook his head. He couldn't believe this at all. The reason why this dragon vein's aura is weak and almost non-existent, and its aura is also greatly depleted. That's because of this dragon bone. It absorbed a huge amount of aura to strengthen itself. Because of this, the level of this dragon vein is getting lower and lower, resulting in the current situation. I even suspect that this dragon bone was deliberately sealed here. Luli said. While speaking, a huge golden dragon soared into the sky with a rumbling sound. Its huge body covered the sky. Upon closer inspection, the golden dragon was not made of flesh and blood. Instead, it was purely a skeletal dragon. It was a gigantic skeletal dragon. The golden dragon bone shone brightly under the sun. Each bone was full of powerful strength. On top of the dragon's head, there was a huge golden eye. Its sharp teeth were like a powerful blade, full of supreme destructive power. Especially the bone spur on the dragon's back. It was mighty and domineering. It was like a heavenly sword, shining with dazzling golden light. This guy is so strong. A bone dragon doesn't have flesh and blood. Yang Hongwu sucked in a breath of cold air when he saw this scene. This guy was actually not restricted by the laws of ancient domain. One had to know that the power displayed in front of Yang Hongwu was definitely beyond the limits of the laws of ancient domain. However, there was no punishment from the heavens. This guy had already surpassed the laws of ancient domain. He was no longer within the laws of ancient domain. This meant that even if the laws of ancient domain sent down a heavenly punishment, it would be useless. It might even cause the collapse of the entire ancient domain. It's not that there isn't any heavenly punishment. It's just that the entire space is blocked by it. At this moment, Shi Bao's voice sounded in the depths of Yang Hongwu's mind. Yang Hongwu was a little unhappy. Shi Bao was eavesdropping on his thoughts. This made Yang Hongwu very uncomfortable. However, there was nothing he could do about it. He wasn't strong enough to block his thoughts. Don't worry, I'm not that bored. At this moment, Shi Bao said, I'll only check your thoughts during critical moments. If you don't want me to see what you're thinking, you'd better hurry up and increase your cultivation level and mental strength. Once your mental strength reaches a certain level, I won't be able to check your thoughts anymore. However, I'm afraid you're in trouble now. Trouble? You're saying that the bone dragon will harm me? Yang Hongwu's face darkened. If that was really the case, then he was in trouble. If the bone dragon wanted to harm him, then his strength was too low. He was no match for it. The aura on your body is very familiar, human. The bone dragon opened its mouth and looked at Yang Hongwu. Yang Hongwu rolled his eyes. F***, I also feel that the aura on your body is very familiar. It's exactly the same as the Dragon Ball I obtained. I don't know what's going on either. Yang Hongwu said, Dragon Ball. I can feel the aura of the Dragon Ball. When the bone dragon shot a golden dragon aura towards Yang Hongwu was scared out of his wits. Is this damned bone dragon really going to attack me? Just as he was about to summon the immortal pagoda to defend himself, Yang Hongwu found that the Dragon Ball in his body moved. It appeared in the depths of his spiritual sea and spiritual abode and started spinning. Yang Hongwu's eyes widened. He couldn't move at all. This made Yang Hongwu turn pale with fright. All this time, Yang Hongwu thought that the Dragon Ball had been completely refined and integrated into his body. He didn't expect that the Dragon Ball was still there and that it hadn't been consumed at all. This made Yang Hongwu very confused. The power of the Dragon Ball was simply beyond his imagination. The power contained in the Dragon Ball in front of him was not weaker than that of the huge bone dragon in front of him. In fact, it was even stronger. Chapter 700. The ultimate method of dragon. Human, you're lying to me. How dare you? The bone dragon's muffled voice carried a hint of anger. Yang Hongwu couldn't even speak at the moment. He could only watch as the huge claws of the bone dragon swiped at him. If he was caught, his entire body would probably be crushed. That terrifying aura made it difficult for Yang Hongwu to breathe. It was as if his entire body was about to be crushed in a meat paste by that enormous pressure. While Yang Hongwu was secretly complaining, the dragon pearl moved and released a powerful force that wrapped around Yang Hongwu's body. Yang Hongwu's body, which was about to be crushed by the terrifying pressure, was repaired in an instant. Not only that, Yang Hongwu's body became even stronger. This was the power of the Dragon Balls. While Yang Hongwu was overjoyed, he was also a little worried. After all, if the matter of the Dragon Balls was exposed and the Bone Dragon knew about it, this fellow would definitely not let him off. However, even though he knew it was dangerous, there was nothing he could do. The Bone Dragon was so powerful. How could he deal with it? It would be great if he could find a weakness. No matter what kind of living being it was, they all had their own weaknesses. Even great emperors were no exception. Of course, if the difference in strength was too great, even if he knew his weakness, he might not be able to compete with him. Now, Yang Hongwu was having a headache. It was very difficult to deal with such a strong opponent. Now, Yang Hongwu could only place his hopes on the immortal pagoda, Lu Li, and Sherbauer. In addition, Devil Saint Kong Qiu could also be used. After all, Devil Saint Kong Qiu's strength was not weak. He was a super expert with the strength to contend against a great emperor. However, his cultivation had not fully recovered. Hence, Yang Hongwu communicated with the Devil Saint's soul imprint, saying, "Devil Saint, stop him, stop this bone dragon, or I'll kill you." After receiving Yang Hongwu's message, the demon saint's body trembled. He was enraged. Damn bastard, he actually wants me to defend against this terrifying bone dragon. Kong Qiu was very depressed. Although he was powerful, the gap between him and the skeletal dragon was too great. If his true body appeared, he might be able to suppress this skeletal dragon. However, he was only a strand of devil intent. In fact, this strand of devil intent was incomplete. He wasn't the real Devil Saint. Facing such a terrifying bone dragon, how could they deal with it? However, he had no other choice now. If he really didn't go against the skeletal dragon, he didn't doubt that Yang Hongwu, that bastard, would drag him down with him. For the sake of his own life, the demon saint had no choice but to make a move. With a wave of his hand, a huge demonic hand flew out and bombarded the bone dragon, as if to smash the huge golden bone dragon into pieces. "Ant, how dare you provoke me?" The skeletal dragon was enraged. He didn't put this little devil in his eyes at all. He thought that this little devil would be frightened by his might and run away. Who would have thought that this little devil would dare to attack him? This was simply a provocation that couldn't be tolerated. The skeletal dragon's huge body moved and swung its tail. Divine Dragon Tail Whip. Rumble, rumble. The huge dragon tail glowed like a huge whip, shattering the entire space. Crack, crack. The space began to collapse, forming a terrifying spatial crack. If one were to fall into it, it would be extremely dangerous. The Devil Saint's palm was shattered in an instant. Kong Qiu's body was sent flying by the terrifying force. The difference was too great, they weren't even on the same level. The demon saint was extremely sullen after being sent flying. He was the famous Confucius saint. Even if he was just a demon saint, he was still a Confucius saint. But now he had fallen to such a state. All of this was because of that damned god refinement great emperor. If he hadn't been sealed here for so many years, his strength would have long surpassed that of a great emperor. Anger, resentment, all of these were born. Kong Qiu's strength was rising continuously. Rumble. Black clouds appeared one after another as terrifying devils appeared around Kong Qiu. These devils were incomparably evil. These were the immemorial heavenly devils. Seeing these immemorial heavenly devils, the skeletal dragon was shocked. What a little devil. To think that he could trigger the immemorial devil Dao law and connect with the immemorial devil domain. His talent isn't bad. This is just a strand of devil will. To think that a strand of devil will could trigger the immemorial devil Dao law. I've underestimated him. Originally, when the skeletal dragon's claws were about to claw Yang Hongwu, It stopped because of the immemorial Devil Dao law. It seemed that the immemorial Devil Dao law was more interesting to it. At this moment, the dragon pearl in Yang Hongwu's body burst out with a terrifying golden light. This golden light contained the supreme power of law. That was the Dragon Dao law. What was the Dragon Dao law? That was the supreme law of the Dragon Realm. The Dragon Realm was the natal world of the primordial revered dragon. The law of this world was called the ultimate law of the Dragon Dao. The ultimate law of the Dragon Dao had a restriction on any dragon. No dragon could violate the shackles of the ultimate law of the Dragon Dao. Even the immemorial revered dragon himself was no exception. He was restricted by the Dragon Dao law and couldn't break free from the control of the Dragon Dao law. Yang Hongwu didn't know about these things. However, the skeletal dragon knew that this skeletal dragon was actually cultivated from the bone of the immemorial revered dragon. Who was the immemorial revered dragon? That was a true, unparalleled expert, an existence that surpassed the god refinement great emperor. Even if it was just a fingernail or a strand of hair, it was still extremely terrifying. He was a peerless existence. Now that this bone had grown for so many years and turned into a bone dragon, its strength was comparable to that of a great emperor. Ordinary great emperors wouldn't be a match for it. However, when the powerful bone dragon sensed the existence of the Tao of dragons, its face was immediately filled with fear. It was as if it had seen something that would cost its life. It was so scared that it started to tremble. Damn it, this is the Dragon Dao law. How is this possible? Damn human. Are you the reincarnation of the immemorial revered dragon? If one wasn't the reincarnation of the primordial revered dragon, no one would be able to use the Dragon Dao technique. Since the primordial revered dragon, countless geniuses had emerged in the dragon race. However, none of these geniuses had comprehended a trace of the Dragon Dao technique. Since the era of the primordial revered dragon, countless years had passed, and no one had comprehended a trace of the Dragon Dao technique. Therefore, the dragon race believed that the Dragon Dao technique could only be cultivated by the founder, the primordial revered dragon. No one else could comprehend it, not even the descendants of the primordial revered dragon. Chapter 701. Primordial revered dragon. Damn it, this is a conspiracy. The skeletal dragon roared in his heart. He was afraid that the damned primordial revered dragon had left him behind on purpose to enhance his reincarnation's cultivation or to protect him. Damn it, this is too despicable. I can't let him have his way. The skeletal dragon was so scared that he didn't dare to get close. He turned around and tried to escape. Great demon Saint Kong Xiao and Bauer were stunned to see the terrifying skeletal dragon running away. The skeletal dragon was so powerful that even Bauer wasn't confident that he could deal with it. He could only think of ways to escape, but he couldn't believe what he saw. Just a moment ago, he was still domineering, arrogant, and despotic, and wanted to crush Yang Hongwu into pieces. Now, he was like a mouse that had seen a cat. His speed of escape was extremely fast. However, it was too late. The dragon pearl released a golden light. The golden light shot out as if it had turned into a huge golden net. This huge golden net caught the bone dragon in an instant. Damn it, I knew there was a conspiracy. Damned primordial revered dragon, you bastard. The skeletal dragon roared and struggled frantically, but he couldn't break free from the terrifying golden net. Yang Hongwu, Bauer, and great demon Saint Kong Xiao were stunned. What's going on? Primordial revered dragon, what's going on? They could see that the golden light shot out from Yang Hongwu's body. After the golden light shot out, it turned into a large net. This net was actually very powerful. The skeletal dragon's power was definitely at the great emperor level. Even great demon Saint Kong Xiao was no match for it. As for that net, it actually trapped him, making it impossible for him to break free. From his words, they could tell that the net was the work of the primordial revered dragon. Who was the primordial revered dragon? Was he an expert from the primordial era? Luli, do you know who the primordial revered dragon is? Yang Hongwu asked. I don't know who the primordial revered dragon is. Luli shook his head. I've never heard of him. Bauer had lived for a long time, but he had never heard of the primordial revered dragon. Could he be a character from the primordial era? Bauer asked. Primordial era? Yang Hongwu was confused. What was the difference between the primordial era and the primordial era? Yes, it's normal that we haven't heard of the primordial era. Primordial era, Bauer era. Primordial era refers to the era of the ancient era. Primordial era refers to the era. The primordial era? Is primordial revered era? If we can subdue this bone dragon, we'll know by asking, Yang Hongwu said. Li 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 li, and li 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 was li dragon dragon, li 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 dragon dragon dragon. I feel that the strength of the bone dragon is extraordinary. Even when I was at my peak in my previous life, I was no match for it. Luli looked at Yang Hongwu and asked. The bone dragon was too powerful, but it couldn't resist the suppression of the golden net. It was incredible. He had never heard of such a powerful treasure that could trap a super strong Great Emperor Realm expert. Yang Hongwu spread out his hands and said, Don't ask me, I also don't know what's going on. This golden light came from a dragon pearl inside my body. My body was once crippled, turning me into a waste that couldn't cultivate. Later on, I obtained a dragon pearl. This dragon pearl reconstructed my body, making me a formidable 9 dragons sacred body. After reconstructing my body, the dragon pearl disappeared. I thought that I had completely refined this dragon pearl and turned it into my body. But I didn't expect that this time, after being stimulated by the bone dragon, another dragon pearl would appear inside my body. Yes, I feel it. It's indeed a dragon pearl. The dragon pearl is filled with an ancient aura. The primordial revered dragon. The bone dragon said the primordial revered dragon. This dragon pearl is probably the dragon pearl of the primordial revered dragon. Are you the reincarnation of the legendary primordial revered dragon? Bauer asked. Yes, it's possible. I felt the noble and ancient aura in your body before. Even my original body in my previous life couldn't compare. Luli nodded in agreement. Look, at this moment, Luli exclaimed and shifted Yang Hongwu's attention to the bone dragon. At this moment, the huge bone dragon had undergone a transformation. Its huge body kept shrinking until it was nothing more than a piece of bone. It was a piece of dragon bone. There was a mysterious aura on the dragon bone. Yang Hongwu felt that this aura was very familiar. At this moment, the golden light dissipated. The huge dragon bone flew towards Yang Hongwu and entered Yang Hongwu's body. Yang Hongwu's body trembled, but he still couldn't move. Yang Hongwu was surprised to find that the dragon bone had merged with his spine after entering his body, forming his spine. Moreover, this was only a part of the dragon bone. According to this situation, this dragon bone had only fused with his spine by 1/9. Yang Hongwu suddenly had an idea. This dragon bone was deliberately left behind by the primordial dragon lord. Moreover, it wasn't just one piece, but 9 pieces of dragon bone. Boom! Yang Hongwu felt that his body had changed. His bones had become very strong. Compared to before, they were like heaven and earth. At this moment, the strength of his bones was definitely stronger than that of an ordinary sage. It could even be compared to a great sage. Moreover, at this time, the dragon soul had also changed. The dragon soul had almost condensed into a physical body. What surprised Yang Hongwu even more was that the dragon soul seemed to have given birth to its own consciousness. This was something that Yang Hongwu did not expect. Yes, the dragon soul was actually just a part of Yang Hongwu's primordial spirit. But now, this dragon soul had mutated and had its own consciousness. Yang Hongwu didn't know whether this was good or bad. The dragon soul had given birth to its own consciousness. Was it still his primordial spirit avatar? Could he still control this dragon soul that belonged to him? Yang Hongwu smiled bitterly. This time, he was in big trouble. Who left this dragon bone behind? What kind of person was the primordial dragon lord? Boom! Chapter 702. Entering the mountain of death. Yang Hongwu was deeply shaken. Was this the dragon bone's memory? Or was it the primordial revered dragon's memory? Powerful, it was unbelievably powerful. He didn't know when he would be able to cultivate to such a level where he could easily destroy a small world with a single breath or sneeze. A small world like the ancient desolate continent, a small plane. After obtaining these memories, Yang Hongwu discovered that his mental strength had increased and his soul power was many times stronger than before. In addition to Yang Hongwu, Ing Xiaorui had also obtained a great deal of benefits. At that moment, Ing Xiaorui's cultivation base had also undergone a great breakthrough. Her cultivation had reached the 6th level of the Venerable Realm. Yang Hongwu was overjoyed. Ing Xiaorui was his battle spirit, and her cultivation had increased to the 6th level of the Venerable Realm. When he used the battle spirit possession, his cultivation could also erupt with the strength of a 6th level Venerable Realm expert. Furthermore, with the power of the profound Dragon 9 Changes Titan Art, his battle strength could even kill a 7th level Venerable Realm expert. Seeing Yang Hongwu in a daze, Lu Li and Shi Bauer hurriedly asked with concern, "Are you all right?" At this moment, the two of them had already left Yang Hongwu's spiritual sea and divine dwelling, so they didn't know anything about Yang Hongwu's situation. The bone dragon had just entered Yang Hongwu's body. It was so terrifying and powerful that even a great emperor might not be able to withstand it. What was Yang Hongwu's cultivation? What realm was Yang Hongwu at? If it was an ordinary person, there was an 80 to 90% chance that their body would explode. That was why the two of them were so worried. In the distance, great demon Saint Kong Xiu was also trembling with fear. This guy's aura was too terrifying. No wonder he could control his soul imprint. Great demon Saint Kong Xiu smiled bitterly. It seemed that he might not be able to break the shackles of the soul imprint in this lifetime unless he gave it up willingly. "I'm fine." Yang Hongwu opened his eyes. When he saw the concern in the two's eyes, he revealed a smile and said in a calm tone, "Your cultivation has increased?" Shi Bauer was a little surprised. He did not expect Yang Hongwu's cultivation to have improved so much under such circumstances. Moreover, Yang Hongwu's physical body had also undergone great changes. No, it could be said that it had turned the world upside down. It was too shocking. Yang Hongwu nodded. Yes. In fact, not only did Yang Hongwu's cultivation increase, but he also obtained another great benefit. Not only did his body become stronger, but he also obtained a supreme divine ability. This was the biggest gain. Your luck is truly heaven-defying. Could it be that you really are the reincarnation of the primordial sovereign dragon? Shi Bauer was a little surprised. If he was the reincarnation of a powerful warrior from the immemorial age, then his luck was truly out of this world. However, this was not a good thing for Yang Hongwu. Once the consciousness of the primordial sovereign dragon was awakened and his memories were restored, would Yang Hongwu still be Yang Hongwu, given his current situation, his strength, and his cultivation realm? How could he resist the invasion of the consciousness of a supreme warrior from the immemorial age like the primordial sovereign dragon? Once he was awakened, Yang Hongwu would probably lose his original consciousness and become the real primordial sovereign dragon. He would no longer be Yang Hongwu. Even if Shi Bauer did not mention it, Yang Hongwu knew this. This was also what Yang Hongwu was worried about. If he was really the reincarnation of the primordial sovereign dragon, he would probably lose his current consciousness once he awakened the memories of the primordial sovereign dragon. In that case, he would be no different from being dead. Therefore, Yang Hongwu did not want to be the primordial sovereign dragon. Of course, Yang Hongwu was also prepared. Even if he really was the primordial sovereign dragon, he would not let him have the initiative. What he had to do was to constantly cultivate frantically and continuously improve his cultivation, increase his mind power, and strengthen the strength of his soul. Once he reached a certain level of strength, he would no longer need to fear the primordial sovereign dragon. At that time, even if he really was the reincarnation of the primordial sovereign dragon, his memories would just be memories. Yang Hongwu also knew that this was not an easy task, but he believed that he would definitely be able to do it. It doesn't matter whether I am or not. I'm still me. I'm not anyone else. I'm Yang Hongwu. Yang Hongwu said with clenched fists. Yes, you're you. Seeing Yang Hongwu thinking this way, Shi Bauer nodded happily. He was very satisfied that Yang Hongwu could think this way. You must remember this. Only by doing this can you really grow up and become a real expert. Even if you regain your memories in the future, it won't have any effect on you. At most, it will just be a huge amount of memories. It's easy to say, but not so easy to do. Don't worry, Yang Hongwu said with a smile. I'm confident that Yang Hongwu, can definitely do it. Oh no, this place is going to collapse. At this time, the entire Earth Demon Mountain began to shake violently. The entire Earth Demon Mountain was about to collapse. Luli shouted as her body flew into the air. Yang Hongwu and Shi Baoer looked at each other. Shi Baoer turned into a green light and entered Yang Hongwu's spiritual abode. Yang Hongwu waved his hand, and a warship appeared in front of Yang Hongwu. In the blink of an eye, Yang Hongwu entered the warship. Yang Hongwu obtained this warship from the Tianyi Immortal Mansion. There were not many warships like this in the Tianyi Immortal Mansion. After all, it was a king-grade warship. After entering the warship, Yang Hongwu communicated with Demon Saint Kong Qiu with his mind power. Demon Saint Kong Qiu had already escaped by this time. Yang Hongwu did not hesitate. He started the warship and left the Earth Demon Mountain. In the next moment, the entire Earth Demon Mountain collapsed with a loud bang. The original mountain turned into a huge ruin with smoke and dust billowing. After a while, when the smoke and dust dispersed, a huge sunken pit appeared where the Earth Demon Mountain used to be. It was like an ancient sinkhole. In this sinkhole, an ancient aura was emitted. This aura was filled with the aura of desolation and destruction. Yang Hongwu was secretly surprised. Could there be something else, or some other secret? Yang Hongwu communicated with Mao. Mao, take a look. What's down there? See if you can see it. Yang Hongwu wanted to know where this desolation and destruction aura came from. Could it be produced by the bone dragon that became his spine? There's a passage. Mao said weakly after a while. This passage is filled with the aura of death. A passage? Filled with the aura of death. Chapter 703. Ancient sorcery text. You can sense it. Are you sure this is the entrance to the Death Mountain? Or is this the passage to the sorcerer world? Yang Hongwu looked at Demon Saint Kong Qiu's question. If it was true, it would save him a lot of trouble. Of course, it was also very dangerous. Not to mention other things, just the death chi in the passage below was difficult to deal with. There might be some terrifying existence in the passage. I'm sure of this. Of course, you can choose not to believe me. Demon Saint Kong Qiu said, as long as I bring you into the witch world, you have to release my soul imprint. This is the deal between us. If you don't want to believe me, then the deal between us ends here. What he said was the truth. If you didn't believe him, then the contract would be canceled and the soul mark would disappear automatically. In this way, he wouldn't be able to control Demon Saint Kong Qiu. Yang Hongwu frowned. At this moment, Shi Baoer's voice sounded, believe him. Yang Hongwu nodded. Since Shi Baoer had spoken, he had nothing to worry about. Shi Baoer had recovered a lot of his strength and was much stronger than before. In addition, Yang Hongwu's own strength had also increased a lot. Now, Yang Hongwu's cultivation had reached level 5 of the Divine Realm. In addition, little Rue's battle spirit shadow had greatly improved. His combat strength was very powerful. As long as he didn't encounter a Sage Realm expert, Yang Hongwu didn't have to worry about his safety. Of course, the sorcerer world was very mysterious. No one knew how many experts there were. There would definitely be Sage Realm experts as his enemies. Okay, I believe you. Now, how can we enter the sorcerer world? Yang Hongwu looked at Demon Saint Kong Qiu and asked. He didn't have a way to enter the sorcerer world. Yang Hongwu didn't think that entering the passage here would be very dangerous. The passage seemed to be very unstable. In such a situation, if an accident were to happen after entering the passage, it would be very troublesome. They might be teleported to an unknown space, which was not a good thing. Come up. Devil Sage Kong Qiu waved his hand, and a small black boat appeared in front of him. There were ancient runes on the black boat. This is the ancient shaman script, Qiu shouted from within the heavenly shaman jar. Ancient witchcraft script? Is this the language of the sorcerer tribe? Yang Hongwu asked in surprise. No, the ancient sorcery script is a mysterious script that was born before the sorcerer tribe was born. I'm afraid that even the ancestor of sorcerer does not know the origin of the ancient sorcery script. I'm afraid that only the great god Pangu knows the origin of the ancient sorcery script. Chiyu shook his head. Yang Hongwu was extremely surprised. Was the ancient wizard script so mysterious? It was a language that existed before the sorcerer tribe was born. Chapter 704. Witch Ghosts. Be careful. We're about to enter the Death Mountain. There will be many witch ghosts coming to trouble us. Demon Saint Kong, Chiu said solemnly. Witch ghosts were a type of strange beast. They were powerful and destructive. What was even more terrifying was that they had stealth techniques. Ordinary people wouldn't be able to see them at all. The witch ghosts didn't move alone. They moved in groups and were very terrifying. On the way to the Death Mountain, many warriors had died under the claws of the witch ghosts. Witch ghosts. Yang Hongwu squinted his eyes. Chiyu had told Yang Hongwu everything about the witch ghosts. He wasn't worried about the witch ghosts. With Mao around, the delusion breaker, I could see where the witch ghosts were hiding. If the witch ghosts wanted to ambush them, he wasn't worried at all. After less than half an hour, Yang Hongwu asked Demon Saint Kong Chiu to stop. What's going on? Why did you stop? Demon Saint Kong Chiu frowned and said with dissatisfaction, Of course there's a reason why I asked you to stop. Yang Hongwu's tone was heavy. There was a large group of witch ghosts in front of them. The number of witch ghosts had exceeded Yang Hongwu's imagination. According to Chiyu, witch ghosts were usually in small groups. Although they were social animals, the number of witch ghosts in each group wouldn't exceed 100. However, not far from them, there are thousands or even tens of thousands of witch ghosts. With so many witch ghosts gathered here, it definitely wasn't a good thing. It's the Witch Ghost Emperor. It must be the Witch Ghost Emperor. Chiyu shouted. Go, leave this place. Leave this place quickly. Chiyu's words were very anxious. Witch Ghost Emperor? Yang Hongwu's face sank. The Witch Ghost Emperor's strength was extremely terrifying. It wasn't easy to deal with him. Moreover, in this damned place, everyone's strength was suppressed. Even Yang Hongwu's cultivation was suppressed. The death chi here was too terrifying. It didn't feel like they were in the human world. It felt like they were in the city of death in hell. Demon Saint, let's change the path. We'll go in another direction. Yang Hongwu said, Why? This path is the shortest. In at most a few dozen breaths, we will be able to enter the passage to the shaman realm. Demon Saint Kong Chiu frowned. Things had already come to this point, and he was actually going to change his path? How could that be possible? If that was the case, then everything would have been for naught. It would not be so easy to change to another path. The Witch Ghost Emperor is here. If you have the confidence to deal with the Witch Ghost Emperor and the tens of thousands of witch ghosts, this path is not a problem, Yang Hongwu said coldly. What? Are you kidding me? How could the Witch Ghost Emperor appear? Isn't the Witch Ghost Emperor unable to appear due to the restriction of the laws? Demon Sage Kong Chiu shrieked in disbelief. The Witchcraft Ghost Emperor was a legendary existence. The true realm of the Witchcraft Ghost Emperor was equivalent to the great saint realm of human warriors. However, the Witchcraft Ghost Emperor had special means. If the Witchcraft Ghost Emperor hid himself, even great emperors or experts who had surpassed great emperors might not be able to find him. Moreover, the scariest thing about the Witchcraft Ghost Emperor was that he could split himself into witch ghosts. These witch ghosts that were split apart were also very powerful. With the terrifying ability to split apart and the shocking concealment technique, it was no wonder that people would turn pale upon hearing his name. It's fine if you don't believe me, Yang Hongwu said coldly. If you insist on going, I won't stop you. However, you have to put us down first. All right, I'll believe you this time. Demon Saint Kong Chiu saw that Yang Hongwu's tone did not seem like he was lying. Thus, he nodded his head. Something like the Witchcraft Ghost Emperor was definitely a deadly existence. It was better to believe in his existence than not. No, it's too late. The Witchcraft Ghost Emperor has already awakened. At this moment, Chiyu shouted. Yang Hongwu's expression was heavy. Swishing sounds could be heard continuously. Numerous animals appeared in the surroundings. Those were black things, and they were witch ghosts. These witch ghosts were densely packed, and they surrounded the entire flying boat in an instant. Damn it, how could this be? Demon Saint Kong Chio cursed in his heart. Get lost. Demon Saint's boat burned with Demon Saint's flame. The entire black boat suddenly sped up, and the surrounding burned with raging flames. These black flames were shockingly powerful. One by one, the witch ghosts were burned by these terrifying flames. Sizzling sounds could be heard in the air. Some of the witch ghosts were burned by the flames, and crackling sounds could be heard. However, these witch ghosts did not seem to know fear. They continued to attack crazily. One after another, they were densely packed together. It was enough to make one's scalp numb and a chill run down one's spine. There are too many of them. Although the Demon Saint's boat was powerful, it could not withstand the attacks of so many witch ghosts. Witchcraft, Ghost Emperor, we have to kill him first. Yang Hongwu shouted. As the saying goes, capture the leader first to capture the bandits. They had to capture the Witchcraft, Ghost Emperor, or kill him first. Only then would they be able to repel these witch ghosts. If they could not find a Witchcraft, Ghost Emperor, then things will be troublesome. Killing the Witchcraft, Ghost Emperor is easier said than done. We haven't even seen his face yet. How can we kill him? Demon Saint Kong Chio said anxiously. Yang Hongwu, you just discovered the existence of the Witchcraft, Ghost Emperor. Can you find his exact location now? Yang Hongwu shook his head. The existence of the Witchcraft, Ghost Emperor was discovered by Qi Yu, not him. Although he could borrow the delusion breaker, Eye of Mao it could not find the exact location of the Witchcraft, Ghost Emperor. Then what should we do? If we can't find the Witchcraft, Ghost Emperor, then we will all die here. Looking at the increasing number of witch ghosts surrounding them, the great demon Saint Kong Chio started to get anxious as well. It wasn't easy for him to come here, and he was about to regain his freedom. He didn't want to die here in such a humiliating manner. His goal was to kill Saint Kong and become the real Kong Chio, the real Kong Saint. He had not achieved his goal yet. How could he die here? Let me think of a way. Yang Hongwu hurriedly said. Qi knew about the existence of the Witchcraft, Ghost Emperor. Since he could discover him once, he could definitely discover him a second time. Moreover, the Witchcraft, Ghost Emperor should have a weakness. If he could find the weakness of the Witchcraft, Ghost Emperor, then the Witchcraft, Ghost Emperor would not be so scary. Therefore, Yang Hongwu communicated with Qi Yu. Qi Yu, you can see the Witchcraft, Ghost Emperor. Chapter 705. Heaven-Devouring Rat. Wake Xing Tian up? Yang Hongwu looked at the Heaven Punishment Battle chart. It would be too difficult to wake Xing Tian up. Although Xing Tian was inside the Heaven Punishment Battle chart, he didn't have his source nor his memories. It would be too difficult to wake Xing Tian up. Unless Yang Hongwu could find Xing Tian's source, then there might be a chance to wake Xing Tian up. But where could he find Xing Tian's origin in this place? Wasn't that bullsh***? This was something that made Yang Hongwu very depressed. Is there no other way? Looking at the Witch Ghost Emperor who was getting closer and closer, time was running out. If they didn't deal with it now, they wouldn't be able to hold on, and everyone would die here. There's no other way. I can delay him for 2 hours at most. If we can't find another way in 2 hours, only death awaits us. Qi said. With Qi Yu's strength, he could only delay the Witch Ghost Emperor for 2 hours? Yang Hongwu didn't believe it. Looking at Qi Yu's expression, this guy definitely had some strength left. Yang Hongwu even suspected that this guy knew that this would happen, but he didn't say anything. Yang Hongwu couldn't do anything about it. 2 hours it is. Yang Hongwu said. Now, an hour was the limit for Yang Hongwu and Demon Saint Kong Chio. Qi could still delay for 2 hours. A little more time would be good. All right. You have to find a way to restore Xing Tian's origin and wake him up. I know you have a way. There's a strong existence in your spiritual dwellings. They definitely have a way to wake Xing Tian up. Qi Yu said as he controlled the heavenly magus pot to fly out. The heavenly magus pot turned into a huge pot. The pot spun continuously, forming a terrifying vortex. This vortex seemed to be able to swallow the entire world. Qi Yu's figure was like a devil god of heaven and earth. He had a pair of sharp horns on his head and looked like a bull. His hands were clenching a terrifying battle saber. That was Chi Yu's tiger soul saber. It was a terrifying devil saber that emitted a terrifying killing chi. The killing chi condensed into a terrifying devil god, as if it could slaughter all living things in the world. Wherever the demonic blade went, everything turned into dust. The witch ghosts were killed and turned into pure energy. A voice sounded in Yang Hongwu's spiritual dwellings. It was the immortal tower's voice. I have a way to wake Xing Tian up. It wasn't the immortal tower's spirit, Xianyu. It was the illusory cloud rat's voice. Yang Hongwu was extremely surprised. The illusory cloud rat was now awake. This fellow's strength wasn't that great. It was only half an 8th level savage beast. How could this fellow know how to wake Xing Tian up? Was this fellow really an illusory cloud rat? How could an illusory cloud rat know so much? Could it be an untainted variant beast? Or was this fellow really a venerable beast before? If that was the case, it would be strange. All right, then tell me what you have in mind. Yang Hongwu couldn't think of any way to deal with the witch ghosts, nor could he wake Xing Tian up. Since the illusory cloud rat said that it had a way, perhaps it really could be done. There was no harm in listening to it. Give me the heaven punishment battle diagram. The illusory cloud rat's request made Yang Hongwu frown. Give him the heaven punishment battle diagram? What was this fellow trying to do? The heaven punishment battle diagram had already recognized him as its master. He couldn't control it all. Moreover, the heaven punishment battle diagram wasn't something he could use. It wasn't that Yang Hongwu was afraid of the illusory cloud rat seizing the heaven punishment battle diagram. Although the illusory cloud rat was no longer his battle pet, Yang Hongwu could still control it. Its life was still in his hands. If he wanted to, he could easily take the illusory cloud rat's life. You really have a way? Don't lie to me. Otherwise, you know the consequences. The heaven punishment battle diagram was a powerful treasure. It could summon Xing Tian to battle. Xing Tian was a great sorcerer. Its fighting strength was very terrifying. If there was enough power to support it, it could fight against a saint or even a great saint in the future. I wouldn't dare to lie to you. Don't underestimate this venerable beast. Do you think this venerable beast would use such a low-level method? The illusory cloud rat said. Yang Hongwu rolled his eyes. This fellow was still the same as before. All right. Yang Hongwu opened the immortal pagoda and released the illusory cloud rat. Then, the heaven punishment battle diagram flew out and landed on the illusory cloud rat. The illusory cloud rat grabbed the heaven punishment battle diagram. Then, a scene that surprised Yang Hongwu happened. After the heaven punishment battle diagram fell into the illusory cloud rat's hands, it underwent an unexpected change. The heaven punishment battle diagram was actually able to absorb the boundless death chi in the passageway. After the death chi entered the heaven punishment battle diagram, it turned into sorcery power, which constantly tempered and strengthened the heaven punishment battle diagram, and used it to restore the heaven punishment battle diagram's origin. On the illusory cloud rat's body, powerful precepts appeared and formed strange runes. They vaguely had the power to devour heaven and earth. This was the illusory cloud rat devouring the death chi in the surrounding space and turning it into sorcery power. What was the origin of this illusory cloud rat? How could it be so powerful? Such a terrifying ability had blinded Yang Hongwu. Shi Bao, Great Demon, Saint Kong Xiao, and Qiyu all opened their eyes wide in shock. How could this little rat be so powerful? What was going on? This is the ancient sky-devouring rat. Great Demon Saint Kong Xiao suddenly exclaimed. Ancient sky-devouring rat. Upon hearing this, Qiyu and Shi Bao were also shocked. The sky-devouring rat was a mighty and domineering name. It could even devour the sky. How could it not be powerful? The sky-devouring rat was a powerful exotic beast in the antiquity times. This exotic beast was one of the top 10 ancient races. It was extremely powerful and could devour heaven and earth. Even the ancient dragons could become its food. This showed how ferocious this exotic beast was. Dragons were an absolutely powerful race. No matter what era they were in, They were the most powerful race. The sky-devouring rat could feed on dragons. It was easy to imagine how powerful it was. No way. Why doesn't this thing look like one? Yang Hongwu knew about the sky-swallowing rat. It was just a rat, an illusory cloud rat. It was extremely weak. Otherwise, it would not have been able to become Yang Hongwu's war pet with a small blood pet elixir. Moreover, this guy only had the ability to use illusions. It had never shown any devouring power. The sky-devouring rat had a powerful devouring power and could devour heaven and earth. However, he had never heard of the sky-devouring rat being able to use illusions. Therefore, Yang Hongwu did not believe it all. Chapter 706. The Heaven Punishment Battle Diagram's Transformation. The Heaven Punishment Battle Diagram's aura became stronger and stronger as the heaven-devouring rat continued to devour and convert. Yang Hongwu was pleasantly surprised. The Heaven Punishment Battle Diagram was becoming stronger, which meant that the Heaven Punishment Battle Diagram's origin was recovering and becoming stronger. As long as the Heaven Punishment Battle Diagram's origin recovered to a certain extent, Xing Tian's original body would be able to awaken. Once Xing Tian's soul awakened, he would be able to deal with the Witch Ghost Emperor. As long as he could control the Witch Ghost Emperor, he would be able to pass through the Mountain of Death and enter the Witch world unimpeded, saving him a lot of trouble and danger. About an hour had passed. The heaven-devouring rat's speed of devouring the death chi slowed down. At this moment, the Heaven Punishment Battle Diagram seemed to have reached its limit. It has reached its limit. Soon, the heaven-devouring rat's voice sounded in Yang Hongwu's mind. It has reached its limit. Why hasn't Xing Tian awakened yet? Yang Hongwu frowned. Although the sky-devouring rat was powerful, it wasn't strong at this time. It didn't have the power of an ancient sky-devouring rat, so it couldn't deal with so many witch ghosts, not to mention the Witch Ghost King. Yang Hongwu hoped that Xing Tian's soul would awaken quickly. As long as Xing Tian awakened, he would have a way to control the Witch Ghost Emperor. Even if he couldn't subdue the Witch Ghost Emperor, he could temporarily disturb the Witch Ghost Emperor and let them enter the Witch world through the Witch world. Heaven-devouring rat, can you absorb some more? Yang Hongwu asked. The illusory cloud rat had turned into the heaven-devouring rat. Yang Hongwu was more polite. After all, this guy's strength was much stronger than before. If it was really as he said, and if he was the sovereign beast before, then he would be very powerful. Master, I can't. It's not that I don't want to, but the Heaven Punishment Battle Diagram has reached its limit. It can't absorb any more spiritual chi. The heaven-devouring rat shook its head. All right, you can enter the Immortal Tower to cultivate, Yang Hongwu said helplessly. In this situation, Yang Hongwu didn't know what to do. Right. Yang Hongwu suddenly thought of something. Would it be helpful if he used his right hand to activate the demon hand? Before, the Earth Demon Emperor had said that his right hand might be the right hand of the Ancestor Devil. The Ancestor Devil was extremely powerful. He was an existence that surpassed great emperors. The Ancestor Devil's strength was boundless. Would it be able to deal with the Witch Ghost Emperor? Looking at the densely packed Wu Gui, Demon Saint Kong Xiu, Qi Yu, and the others could no longer hold on. They could only try their best. He wanted to see if he could really deal with this hateful Wu Gui. Just as Yang Hongwu was about to activate the Devil's Hand, the Heaven Punishment Battle Diagram transformed. The Heaven Punishment Battle Diagram flew out and turned into a huge black cloud. It covered the sky and the sun and enveloped the Witch Ghost Emperor. When the Witch Ghost Emperor saw the Heaven Punishment Battle Diagram flying towards him, it was as if he had encountered some great terror. He became very uneasy and became even crazier. A terrifying energy burst out, and the space was shattered by that terrifying energy. The death chi surged, and the entire Death Mountain shook as if it was about to explode. Yang Hongwu knew that things weren't good. If it were to explode, it would be really troublesome. Damn it, how could this be? At this moment, Yang Hongwu realized that the Heaven Punishment Battle Diagram had sent out a message. Leave this Witch Ghost Emperor to me. Xing Tian? Could it be Xing Tian? Yang Hongwu was overjoyed. Was this consciousness of Xing Tian? If it was really Xing Tian who had awakened, That would be great. Great Shaman Xingtian has awakened. No, that's not right. It's not Great Shaman Xingtian. Qiyu shook his head. It's not? Yang Hongwu was stunned. He looked at Qiyu and asked, if it's not Xingtian, then who is it? It should be the weapon spirit of the Heaven Punishment Battle diagram. Qiyu smiled bitterly and shook his head. However, there's no need to worry about the Witch Ghost Emperor. Although the weapon spirit of the Heaven Punishment Battle diagram isn't Xingtian, it can still resist the Witch Ghost Emperor. In fact, it's easier to deal with the Witch Ghost Emperor than Great Shaman Xingtian. As soon as Qiyu finished speaking, the Heaven Punishment Battle diagram trapped the Witch Ghost Emperor. A terrifying airflow pulled the Witch Ghost Emperor into the Heaven Punishment Battle diagram. The other Witch Ghosts were also pulled into the Heaven Punishment Battle diagram. The Heaven Punishment Battle diagram seemed to be the natural nemesis of the Witch Ghosts. Not a single one of them could escape. Powerful. Is this the transformed Xing Tian battle map? Qiyu was also surprised, worthy of being refined by Xing Tian Great Witch. His Heavenly Shaman Jar was still a bit weaker than the Heaven Punishment Battle diagram. If his Heavenly Shaman Jar was restored, it might be able to compete with the Heaven Punishment Battle diagram. However, the Heavenly Shaman Jar wasn't refined by him. He had to admit that there was a huge gap between him and Xingtian. Yang Hongwu was also very surprised. He didn't expect the transformed Heaven Punishment Battle diagram to be so powerful. It was so effective against the Witch Ghosts. This made him feel relieved. It seemed that entering the Witch world wasn't a big problem anymore. After the Heaven Punishment Battle diagram devoured the Witch Ghost Emperor, it released a majestic power. This was the Witch Power. It was fed back into Yang Hongwu's body. The Nine Dragons' saint body wasn't that simple. The Witch Power entered Yang Hongwu's body and made it stronger. The Nine Dragons' saint body was activated. A black dragon kept moving and growing. The Nine Dragons' saint body was the strongest of the 9 divine dragons. The first to awaken was the Golden Dragon. Unexpectedly, the second to awaken was the Black Dragon. This Black Dragon had the ability to devour the Death Chi. Yang Hongwu found that after the Black Dragon woke up, the Death Chi around it could be absorbed and refined by it. In other words, Yang Hongwu didn't have to worry about the Death Chi. The Death Chi didn't have any effect on him. On the contrary, the Death Chi could increase Yang Hongwu's cultivation. It was a great help to the body. Vitality, Death Chi. The Black Dragon's dragon soul was awakened. At the same time, the divine dragon that controlled vitality was also awakened. This surprised Yang Hongwu to the extreme. The divine dragon that controlled vitality was an emerald dragon. At this time, 3 divine dragons had awakened in Yang Hongwu's body. Compared to before, his strength was much stronger. Especially his soul power, it was several times stronger. At this time, if Yang Hongwu used the battle spirit possession, the time it would take him was several times longer than before. Your cultivation has increased again. Looking at Yang Hongwu's changes, Demon Saint Kong Xiu was shocked. This guy was too abnormal. When Kong Sheng came to this world, his cultivation speed was far inferior to Yang Hongwu's. Yang Hongwu was really abnormal. That's great. Different from Demon Saint Kong Xiu's shock, Sherbauer and Nini were very happy to see Yang Hongwu's cultivation improve again. At this moment, Yang Hongwu's cultivation was only a sliver away from another breakthrough. Chapter 707. Entering the Sorcerer World. Let's go. Let's enter the Sorcerer World. Yang Hongwu shouted. At this moment, Yang Hongwu was no longer afraid of the Death Chi. Entering the Sorcerer World was no longer the same as before, where they had to rely on Demon Saint Kong Xiu's Demon Saint Boat. Even without the Demon Saint Boat, they could still enter. But there was one thing, and that was that they were worried about encountering powerful beasts. However, if they were to encounter powerful beasts, it would be dangerous even if they were in the Demon Saint Boat. Yang Hongwu had no confidence in using Space Shift, but the Demon Saint Boat was very fast here, much faster than Yang Hongwu entering by himself. If he could save some energy, Yang Hongwu would definitely not waste it. After a few hours, Yang Hongwu and the rest finally entered the Sorcerer World. This place was filled with dense sorcerer energy, and the surroundings were desolate. the mountains were broken, and the palaces seemed to have been hit by a huge force, turning into ruins. Sorcerer World. Is this the Sorcerer World? Yang Hongwu was a little doubtful. There was not much life chi here. It was impossible for the sorcerer race to live in a place of death. There was not enough life chi here, and the death chi was too dense. Could it be that they had been hit by some terrifying force? Was it because of the Great Sorcerer War? That was not possible. So many years had passed since the Great Sorcerer War. How could it still be like this? Kaka, be careful. Hearing the sound, Yang Hongwu's face changed. At this moment, skeletal hands reached out from the ground. Skeletons climbed out from the ground one by one. How could this be? Chiyu's face fell. These skeletons were obviously not from the sorcerer race. The skeletons of the sorcerer race would not be so short. These skeletons were densely packed, but they were not tall. Obviously, these dead guys were not from the sorcerer race. This is the undead spirit race. Demon Saint Kong Chio's face was solemn. The undead spirit race was one of the terrifying races of the extraterritorial race. Like the demon race, they had always wanted to conquer the 9 heavens and 10 earths. They had once launched countless attacks on the 9 heavens and 10 earths together with the demon race. But none of them succeeded. He did not expect to find the undead spirit clan in the sorcerer world. However, these undead spirit clan were low-level undead spirits. They were just some zombies and skeletons. They were not very powerful. Furthermore, without a powerful leader to control them, these fellows would not be able to do anything at all. Yang Hongwu, use your Yama's invitation. Sure, Bauer's voice sounded in Yang Hongwu's mind. Yama's invitation is the nemesis of the undead clan. After hearing this, Yang Hongwu nodded. Indeed, Yama's invitation could collect skeletons. In the Yellow Spring River, there were countless skeletons. Back then, Yang Hongwu had used up a lot of skeletons to summon the skeleton generals to fight, which led to a huge loss of skeletons in the Yellow Springs River. Now that there was such a good opportunity to replenish them, of course, Yang Hongwu would not waste it. The Yama's note opened and flew out. It seemed to have turned into a huge black cloud that covered the entire sky. Then it formed a terrifying black vortex that looked like a huge black hole. It emitted a terrifying suction force and swallowed all the skeletons that crawled out from ground. What a powerful Yama's note. Looking at this scene, Demon Saint Kong Chio was extremely shocked. This Yama's invitation was definitely not ordinary. He could sense a horrifying aura coming from it. This was an Emperor weapon. This was definitely an Emperor weapon. Yama's note was much more powerful than the Heaven Punishment Battle Diagram and the Heavenly Sorcerer Jar. After devouring these skeletons, the aura of Yama's note began to recover. Although it had not recovered to its peak state, Yang Hongwu knew that if it continued to devour the skeletons, the Yama's note would be replenished. The more skeletons it devoured, the stronger the power of Yama's note. Yang Hongwu could clearly feel this. These skeletons were the source of power of Yama's note. However, Yang Hongwu felt a little strange. Yama's note could not absorb the energy of death like the Heaven Punishment Battle Diagram. Instead, it relied on the skeletons in the Yellow Spring River to absorb energy. If this was the case, wouldn't the Yama's note lose its power when the skeletons in the Yellow Spring River were exhausted? That was not a good thing. Could it be that this Yama's note was sealed? Or was it incomplete? Yang Hongwu knew how powerful Yama's note was. When Yang Hongwu's cultivation had not reached the God Realm, he might not know about this. But now, Yang Hongwu's cultivation had reached the God Realm level 5. He was very clear about this. There were many secrets in Yama's note that Yang Hongwu could not see through. He had to wait for Yang Hongwu's cultivation to continue to improve before he could uncover them. What made Yang Hongwu puzzled was that Yama's note should have an artifact spirit. But why couldn't the artifact spirit awaken? What was the artifact spirit of Yama's note? This was an Emperor artifact. Then, the artifact spirit of an Emperor artifact should be very powerful. Let's move on. After collecting all the skeletons here, Yang Hongwu was still not satisfied. He wanted to collect more and stronger skeletons so that his Yama's note could be more powerful. Yang Hongwu had a premonition that he would encounter great danger in the future, and this Yama's invitation would be his greatest trump card. It might even be more helpful than the Heaven Punishment Battle portrait and the Heavenly Sorcerer's Jar. Be careful. There might be great danger here. There might be Sage Realm fierce beasts, or even stronger. Demon Saint Kong, Xiao said. When was the last time you entered the sorcerer world? Yang Hongwu asked curiously. This was before I was sealed. It was a long time ago. Demon Saint Kong, Xiao said. At that time, there wasn't such a strong death chi here. There were many sorcerer tribes. The cultivation of those sorcerer tribes was not weak. The strongest one could even fight with a great Sage Realm expert. Great Sage Realm? You mean there were great sorcerers at that time? Chiyu asked. That's right. Great sorcerers. Demon Saint Kong, Xiao nodded. Great sorcerers had the highest authority in the sorcerer tribe. They were second only to the ancestral sorcerer. However, there were very few great sorcerers in the sorcerer tribe. Their strength was terrifying. In fact, their real combat strength could even be compared to a great emperor. Of course, if they really fought with a great emperor, it was impossible for a great sorcerer to win. The strength of a great emperor was too terrifying. Those who could fight with a great sorcerer were only fake emperors. There are only a few great sorcerers in the entire sorcerer tribe, Chi said coldly. His strength was still a step away from a great sorcerer. However, if it wasn't for the fact that his origin was damaged when he fought for the world with the Yellow Emperor, his strength would have reached the level of a great sorcerer or even surpass it. Chapter 708. Giant Undead Beast. Yang Hongwu had the map in his hand, so he wasn't worried at all. Everything would be simple once he entered the witch world. With the map in hand, it would be much easier to find the ancestral Magi Palace. Of course, there would be danger. No matter what, there would always be danger. As for powerful enemies, there would be many of them. Let's go. Yang Hongwu checked the map and said, My mission has been completed. Yang Hongwu, I should have handed over my soul imprint, right? At this moment, Sacred Devil Kong Xiao stopped and looked at Yang Hongwu. It was too dangerous here. Yang Hongwu's cultivation wasn't strong. Even if he had treasures and all kinds of trump cards, he still didn't want his soul imprint to be controlled by others. Have you thought it through? Yang Hongwu wasn't afraid that Demon Saint Kong Xiao would attack him. So what if he returned the soul imprint? As for attacking, he wouldn't dare unless he didn't want to live anymore. After all, the heavenly oath wasn't a joke. You're the successor of that old bastard. You've obtained his inheritance. That old bastard sealed me. How can I be with you? Demon Saint Kong, Xiao said. Yang Hongwu sighed. Once this guy left, he would lose a powerful helper. All right. Although Yang Hongwu was very unwilling, he still returned the soul imprint to Demon Saint Kong Xiao. Little guy, we'll meet again. I hope that the next time I see you, you'll become a true expert and not rely on other things. Demon Saint Kong Xiao said loudly after he received his soul imprint. We'll meet again. Watching Kong Xiao's back view as he left, Sherbauer said, Why did you let him go? This demon saint is very powerful. If we can control him, we'll be in a lot less trouble and danger. Besides, his demon saint's arc is engraved with ancient witchcraft runes. If we could get our hands on it, we'll benefit greatly in the witch realm. I know, Yang Hongwu said. Then why did you let him go? Chi was also a little surprised. He couldn't understand why he let go of such a good fighter. Moreover, that guy was an enemy before. If Demon Saint Kong Xiao betrayed him, he would suddenly have another powerful enemy. The loss would outweigh the gain. He will come back, Yang Hongwu said with a smile. As the Heaven Punishment Battle diagram absorbed more and more shaman power, it finally started to transform. The Heaven Punishment Battle diagram's artifact spirit told Yang Hongwu that Xing Tian's origin would soon awaken. Because the Heaven Punishing origin was about to awaken, and Yang Hongwu's map had been fused into the Heaven Punishing Battle diagram, she had obtained a new function, which was to investigate the situation within a 30,000-meter radius. And in this place, which was also the place where they were, countless undead clan members had appeared. The strength of these undead clan members was much stronger than the undead skeletons they had just encountered. Among them, There was a giant undead beast with a terrifying aura, whose strength was equivalent to that of a great saint. In this place, demon Saint Kong Chio's strength was suppressed, and the giant undead beast's strength was so terrifying. There was a strong death chi here, and it was like a fish in water. Seeing Yang Hongwu so confident, everyone, including Mao was puzzled. Where did his confidence come from? This was the witch world. Everything was mysterious. Even Shi Yu, as a member of the witch tribe, did not know what was going to happen in the witch world, what would happen, and what dangers they would encounter. Do you know something? Sure, Bauer asked. Don't speak in riddles. Xing Tian's origin in the Heaven Punishment Battle diagram is about to awaken, and I have obtained a function that allows me to investigate the situation within a 30,000-meter radius in the witch world. We are now in danger, surrounded by the undead clan. Among these undead clan members, there is a terrifying giant undead beast whose strength is equivalent to that of a great saint. As for the other giant undead beasts, there are 5 of them that are equivalent to that of a sage. As for the other giant undead beasts, there are at least hundreds of thousands of them. Except for the giant undead beasts at the deity realm, sage realm, and great saint realm, which gave Yang Hongwu great pressure, the rest of the undead clan members were Yang Hongwu's greatest tonic. The origin of Xing Tian in the Heaven Punishment Battle diagram was about to awaken, but he did not know when it would truly awaken. However, Yama's invitation was different. As long as enough undead clan members were sucked into the Yellow Spring River, the power of Yama's invitation would continue to grow. After discovering this, Yang Hongwu was a little suspicious. Was Yama's invitation originally a powerful emperor weapon of the undead clan? Otherwise, how could the more undead clan members were sucked into the Yellow Spring River, the more powerful the Yama's invitation would become? Yang Hongwu was very curious about this. Of course, even if Yama's invitation was originally a treasure of the undead clan, so what? Now that it had recognized him as its master, it was his. Dozens of breaths passed. A terrifying roar came from afar, shaking heaven and earth. Yang Hongwu found that Devil Saint Kong Chio had already fought with a giant undead beast at this time. Devil Saint Kong Chio's strength at this time was only equivalent to the peak of the Sage realm, but the giant undead beast he encountered was in the Great Saint realm. With Devil Saint Kong Chio's strength, he was no match for it. How could he break through? Therefore, the only chance was to retreat and rely on Yang Hongwu's strength to block those undead clan experts. Because Yang Hongwu had a powerful treasure in his hands that could restrain the undead clan. Damn it, even a tiger will be bullied by dogs. After blocking the terrifying attack of the giant undead beast with a fierce blow, Devil Saint Kong Chio quickly retreated. He clenched his teeth and cursed. He felt aggrieved. This was too aggrieved. When had he ever encountered such an aggrieved situation? He had finally escaped with great difficulty. But he had never thought that he would encounter such a situation again. Even a giant undead beast of the Great Sage realm had bullied him to this extent. In fact, the intelligence of the giant undead beast was not very high, just like those human martial artists who were all brawn and no brains. However, although the giant undead beast's intelligence was not high, it was quite difficult to deal with. Once they set their mind on something, they would definitely fight to the death and would never give up. Once entangled with them, they would not rest until one of them was dead. It was extremely troublesome. Therefore, although Devil Saint Kong Chio quickly retreated in the direction of Yang Hongwu, he was still very angry in his heart. Damn beast, if it wasn't for the fact that my strength had not recovered, how could I be in such a sorry state? As they chased after each other, terrifying shockwaves exploded in all directions. One mountain after another was destroyed by the giant undead beast. Devil Saint Kong Chio had no room to resist at all, and could only run as fast as he could. Chapter 709. The Might of the Yellow Spring River. Isn't this our great demon saint? Why is he in such a sorry state? Yang Hongwu couldn't help but laugh when he saw demon Saint Kong Chio. This guy was in such a sorry state that he looked completely different from when he left. Demon Saint Kong Chio's face darkened. He didn't have time to refute Yang Hongwu's mockery, so he shouted, Yang Hongwu, we're in trouble. You and I have to work together now. Otherwise, it won't be good for either of us. Oh, what kind of powerful enemy did you encounter? Besides, you're much stronger than me. Plus, you have the Demon Saint's Arkansas. In the witch world, you're like a fish in water with the Demon Saint's Arkansas. Ordinary beasts won't be afraid of you at all. Yang Hongwu said. In fact, Yang Hongwu had seen everything. He knew very well that Demon Saint Kong Xiu had encountered the giant undead beast. However, the giant undead beast was indeed very powerful. It wasn't something that ordinary people could deal with. Even Yang Hongwu, who had the Yama's note, the Heaven Punishment Battle diagram, and the Heavenly Sorcerer's Jar, didn't have full confidence in dealing with it. However, if he couldn't deal with it, escaping wouldn't be a problem. It's coming. Demon Saint Kong Xiu shouted at Yang Hongwu, hurry up and use your Heaven Punishment Battle diagram. Otherwise, we'll be in trouble. There's no way we can escape. Roar. An earth-shattering roar was heard. A ferocious-looking giant undead beast appeared in the void. Its body was covered in raging black flames. Horrifying bone spikes stood tall on its back. With a violent shake, the bone spikes shot out like terrifying spears from the void. It was filled with the aura of destruction and the power of death. This is the shadow of the spear of death. How is this possible? Sherbaoer's eyes widened as he exclaimed. How could a giant undead beast use the shadow of the spear of death? This was too shocking. The giant undead beast was known to be a beast with low intelligence. However, this giant undead beast was able to throw out the bone spikes on its back. Furthermore, the bone spikes contained the terrifying power of death and aura of death. The spear of death was an ancient emperor weapon with boundless power. When it was unleashed, it was enough to destroy the heavens and earth and kill an Emperor Realm expert. Even if it was just the shadow of the spear of death, it was still a very terrifying existence. Ordinary martial artists in the Great Sage Realm would not be able to withstand it. That was why Sherbaoer was so shocked when he saw the bone spear coming at him. In fact, as a life gem, Sherbaoer was especially sensitive to the aura of the death spear. He hated it and didn't like it at all. The phantom image of the spear of death seemed as though it was going to pierce through the heavens and earth. They charged towards Yang Hongwu and the others. Damn it! Demon Saint Kong Xiu was at the front and bore the brunt of the attack. At this moment, he was extremely enraged. However, there was nothing he could do. He could only use his greatest strength to defend against this terrifying attack. Sacrifice for a righteous cause. Devil Saint chanted, and a majestic devil energy burst out, condensing into a majestic Confucian figure in the void. This Confucian figure held a sword in his hand, and with a wave of his sword, a huge sword chi covered the entire sky. The dense sword chi condensed together, trying to block the attack of the terrifying death spear. Bang! 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 The two mighty forces collided with each other, causing an earth-shattering explosion. It was as if the entire world was going to be destroyed. Terrifying cracks appeared in the void, and a terrifying spatial storm erupted from the cracks. It seemed as though it was going to sweep everyone in. Yang Hongwu quickly retreated. The powerful impact stopped the giant undead beast from chasing after him. Demon Saint Kong Xiu had consumed a lot of energy. He summoned the Demon Saint's boat and came in front of Yang Hongwu. He shouted, "Come in." Smiling, Yang Hongwu leaped into the air and entered the Devil Saint's Arkansas. This guy was going to leave at the beginning, but now he came back. That attack just now had consumed a lot of his energy. It took him a lot of effort to block the attack of the giant undead beast. If there was another attack, he wouldn't be able to block it at all. Demon Saint is indeed the Demon Saint. Your strength is so strong that even the shadow of the spear of death could be blocked so easily. Admirable. Truly admirable. Yang Hongwu said with a smile. Don't talk so much nonsense. If it wasn't for the fact that I haven't recovered my strength, how would I be in such a sorry state? That damn beast. As soon as he heard Yang Hongwu mention this, Demon Saint Kong Xiu was enraged. It wasn't easy for him to get out of the seal. At the beginning, he was restricted by Yang Hongwu and almost became his slave. Only then did he manage to break free from Yang Hongwu's control. Now, he had no choice but to cooperate with Yang Hongwu to block the giant undead beast. There was nothing more humiliating than this. But in order to survive, he had to do this. Yang Hongwu stopped this guy quickly. Otherwise, we'll all die. Okay. Yang Hongwu also knew that the situation was serious. This giant undead beast wasn't weak. It wouldn't be easy to deal with it. He waved his hand, and the Yama's note flew out. At this time, the giant yellow spring river in the Yama's note underwent some changes. As if it had sensed something, it turned into a giant yellow dragon and flew out. Yang Hongwu felt incredulous. The yellow spring river in Yama's invitation had actually turned into a giant dragon. The strength of this giant dragon was very powerful. It actually had the aura of a great sage. It was enough to contend with the powerhouse of the great sage realm. This is the netherworld divine dragon. Chiyu opened his eyes wide. Chiyu was from the Wu tribe. He knew about the Wu tribe before the Great War of witchcraft and demons. For a long time, the Wu tribe was more powerful than the demon tribe. However, the demon tribe had a sage, while the Wu tribe didn't. Later, the ancestor of the Wu tribe, Hutu, turned into reincarnation and established the 6 paths of reincarnation and the 18 layers of hell. At that time, the Wu tribe lost Hutu. The 12 ancestors of witches could no longer set up the 12 heavenly capital formation and couldn't activate the real body of Pangu. As a result, the strength of the Wu tribe was greatly reduced. The demon tribe took advantage of this and fought with the Wu tribe. In the end, the Wu tribe and the demon tribe had an earth-shattering battle. Even the pillar of heaven was broken, leading to the destruction of the untainted land. Finally, the 3 realms were rebuilt under the supreme power of the Tao ancestor and the sage. In the heaven realm, there was the 9 heavens Milky Way. In contrast, in the Yama's underworld, there was the Yellow Spring River. In the Yellow Spring River, there was a netherworld divine dragon. It was a powerful existence of the sage-to-be. In this world, it was an expert of the great saint level. The giant yellow dragon in front of him was exactly the same as the legendary netherworld divine dragon. Chiyu suspected that it was the netherworld divine dragon. Yang Hongwu's luck is really heaven-defying. He even obtained the underworld holy dragon. It's too shocking and too enviable. The netherworld divine dragon opened its huge claws and clawed at the giant dead spirit beast. Chapter 710. Devour a Rip. After all, a dragon was a dragon. The underworld holy dragon was extremely powerful. Even if it was not at its peak, its strength was still very terrifying. Its powerful strength suppressed the undead behemoth in an instant. Boom! With a loud bang, the giant undead beast's huge body was sent flying by the underworld holy dragon. It only stopped after flying for dozens of meters. Cruel and domineering. Good guy, kill that bastard. Yang Hongwu shouted. The underworld holy dragon seemed to understand Yang Hongwu's words. It opened its sharp dragon claws and charged at the undead behemoth again. The power rumbled and surged. It was like the surging waves of the ocean, howling as it rose, wanting to topple the entire world. His entire body was emitting a yellow light, and his energy was condensed and extremely domineering. The giant undead spirit beast roared into the sky. Its voice was like thunder, as if it was going to shatter the entire world. As it roared, the huge body of the undead behemoth seemed to be burning. A black aura surrounded its huge body, and endless demonic flames surged. With a stomp of his foot, the ground shattered and cracks appeared. Let me out. At this time, a voice appeared in Yang Hongwu's spiritual sea. It was the voice of the heaven-punishing battle diagram. The heaven-punishing battle diagram wanted to use this opportunity to strengthen itself. Yang Hongwu nodded and released it. The heaven punishment battle diagram seemed to have turned into a heavenly canopy that covered the sky and the sun, covering the entire world. Ton. All of you, get over here. At this moment, the heaven punishment battle diagram seemed to have turned into a huge black hole, swallowing the 4 spiritual beasts around it. There was only one giant undead beast, but there were other small beasts, or rather, the giant undead beast's underlings. Although the giant undead beast's intelligence was not high, it still had countless followers. These followers are also very strong, but the heaven punishment battle diagram is their nemesis. It can devour these undead spirit beasts. At the same time, Yang Hongwu's cultivation was also increasing. Although the speed was not fast, it was still increasing. In this way, it would be much faster than Yang Hongwu's own cultivation. Boom! Seeing its underlings being massacred, the giant undead beast was completely enraged. Its terrifying aura became even more violent, and its huge body became even bigger. Damn it, all of you! The frenzied, giant, undead spirit beast unleashed its most terrifying innate ability, causing its combat power to skyrocket. That horrifying power seemed as though it was going to destroy the entire world. The space started to vibrate violently, as though it was going to be destroyed in the face of this tyrannical power. Roar! The underworld holy dragon roared. How dare you be so arrogant in front of me, little 4 spiritual beasts? As the undead beast grew bigger, the underworld holy dragon grew even bigger. A huge phantom appeared, and huge laws condensed. These huge power of laws were like chains, and these chains bound the undead beast in an instant. Roar! The giant, undead dragons, the undead dragon. The giant undead dragon. But at this time, the underworld holy dragon would not let it do as it wished. It opened its huge mouth and swallowed the giant undead beast. Kacha. The giant undead beast was chewed and swallowed by the underworld holy dragon. Seeing this scene, everyone was stunned. After the underworld holy dragon swallowed the giant undead beast, it turned into a yellow light and entered Yama's note. Yang Hongwu's body shook. A powerful force from Yama's note was fed back to Yang Hongwu's body. Yang Hongwu only felt that this force was too strong. It was as if his whole body was about to explode. The meridians in his body were exploding little by little. His primordial spirit was constantly growing like a huge balloon that was constantly being inflated. Damn it! Yang Hongwu did not expect this. The underworld holy dragon in Yama's note had swallowed the giant undead beast. The giant undead beast body contained a terrifying amount of energy. The Yama's note couldn't digest all of it. So, the excess energy could only rush to its master, Yang Hongwu. Yang Hongwu secretly complained. He couldn't devour it at all. Although his body was strong, and he had the 9-dragon saint body, his current cultivation realm was too weak. He was just a divine realm expert, not even a venerable realm expert. The giant undead spirit beast was equivalent to a great saint-level giant beast. The energy contained in its entire body was much more than an ordinary great saint-level powerhouse. What's wrong? Seeing Yang Hongwu's distorted face, Demon Saint Kong Chiu asked. Just as he was about to get closer, a figure appeared. It was Shi Bao, who was blocking the great demon Saint Kong Chiu. This guy is not a good person. Yang Hongwu is at a critical juncture now. If he is affected by the great demon saint, he will be in big trouble. Gem of Life. Demon Saint Kong Chiu saw Shi Bao's figure and was surprised. It's the Gem of Life. This is too shocking. Humph, back off, Shi Bao said coldly. If you were at your peak and your true body was here, I might be afraid. But now, you're just a demonic thought of Confucius Saint. If you want to harm Yang Hongwu, I'll turn you into ashes. Don't worry. Demon Saint Kong Chiu shook his head. I won't harm him. I've already made a heavenly oath. If I do, I'll face the wrath of heaven and die without a burial place. I'm not that stupid. I haven't become Saint Kong yet, so I won't take the risk. You should worry about him for now. The underworld divine dragon devoured the giant undead beast. It couldn't completely digest the huge amount of energy, so it was transferred to Yang Hongwu. His cultivation is too low, so he can't absorb or digest such a huge amount of energy. If he can't refine it in time, I'm afraid he'll explode and die, Demon Saint Kong Chiu said. You don't have to worry about that. I believe he can handle it, Bauer said calmly. Bauer had full confidence in Yang Hongwu. If he couldn't even digest a part of the giant undead beast's energy, then Yang Hongwu didn't deserve the nine-dragon saint body. At this moment, divine dragons appeared in Yang Hongwu's body. Dragon roars resounded as the divine dragon swam around Yang Hongwu's body, constantly devouring the huge amount of energy from the giant undead beast. At the same time, Yang Hongwu's body became stronger and stronger, and so did Yang Hongwu's primordial spirit. 1 breath, 10 breaths, a quarter of an hour. An hour. Time flew. In just a few hours, the huge amount of energy was finally digested. Chapter 711. Holy Ghost Physique, someone is coming. Demon Saint Kong Chio's face darkened. Bauer also sensed it, and his expression changed slightly. Yang Hongwu was at a critical moment, but the huge fluctuation of spiritual energy must have attracted the attention of other experts. Or rather, the strange beast that lived in the sorcerer world. I'll go take a look, Demon Saint Kong Chio said, and disappeared in a flash. Bauer would not leave. Her task now was to protect Yang Hongwu and not let it be attacked by others. After a few breaths, Yang Hongwu slowly opened his eyes. Divine Realm Level 5. His cultivation had broken through the shackles and entered a new level, reaching Divine Realm Level 5. After one's cultivation reached the Divine Realm, it was extremely difficult to advance to the next level. However, Yang Hongwu had already reached the 5th level of the Divine Realm in such a short period of time. If this kind of cultivation speed was spread out, it would be simply shocking. One had to know, how old was Yang Hongwu now? He was not even 30 years old yet. A cultivator who was not even 30 years old had already reached level 5 of the Divine Realm. Most importantly, he came from the ancient desolate continent, a place with thin and barren spiritual chi from the lower world to where he was now. This showed how terrifying and heaven-defying his aptitude was. Even those with powerful physiques in the ancient domain did not have such a fast cultivation speed. Yang Hongwu, you finally came out of seclusion. Bauer heaved a sigh of relief after seeing that Yang Hongwu had successfully broken through and refined the energy of the giant undead beast. In fact, Bauer was very worried. Yang Hongwu smiled and said, "This is a test for me. It's a test from Yama Invitation and Xianyu. It's to train my will, refine my body, and make my cultivation stronger." Bauer thought for a while and felt that it was not that simple. However, there were some things that Yang Hongwu didn't want to talk about, and she didn't want to ask too much. "All right, we should go now. This place has been exposed. You made such a big commotion just now. If we don't leave this place quickly, I'm afraid there will be big trouble later." Although something big had happened in the sorcerer world, and even caused the fall of the entire sorcerer tribe, it was not that simple. The sorcerer's world was not restricted by the ancient region's heavenly Tao laws. Therefore, there were countless experts who were as strong as venerables, great sages, and even great emperors. The energy that Yang Hongwu had just burst out from his cultivation was something that many powerful creatures dreamed of. In the witch world, although the spiritual chi was decent, resources were scarce, and the materials for cultivation were scarce. Therefore, if there was a situation where the spiritual chi was rich, the things that formed the majestic spiritual chi would be regarded as spiritual objects or even sacred objects for cultivation. As a result, the creatures in the witch world would scramble for them, regardless of whether they were weak or strong. As soon as Bauer's voice fell, a figure in a sorry state appeared in front of Yang Hongwu. Demon Saint. Yang Hongwu was surprised. At this moment, Demon Saint was in a worse state than when he was chased by the giant undead beast. Yang Hongwu was extremely surprised. To be able to make Demon Saint in such a sorry state, he must have encountered some big trouble. What happened? Why are you in such a sorry state? Yang Hongwu laughed and looked at Demon Saint. Boy, what are you laughing at? Hurry up and leave this place, or we will be in big trouble. It was not easy for me to escape just now. Demon Saint shouted at Yang Hongwu angrily. All right, let's go. Let's leave quickly, Yang Hongwu said with a smile. He stepped on Demon Saint's boat. Demon Saint's boat cut through the void and shuttled through the void. After dozens of breaths, Demon Saint Kong Chio suddenly slowed down. We are surrounded, Demon Saint Kong Chio said in a heavy tone. What's going on? Yang Hongwu looked and frowned. Those are ghost warships. Damn it. Why would the ancient Nether clan appear here? Yang Hongwu could not figure it out. The ancient Nether clan's appearance was most likely for him. Back then, the ancient Nether clan wanted to capture him. It was the ancient Nether divine king of the ancient Nether clan. This time, there were 2 Emperor-level ghost warships in total. Yang Hongwu took a deep breath. Emperor-class ghost warships were very powerful. The strongest attack of a true Emperor-class ghost warship was enough to kill a saint, or even a supreme saint. Because there was no restriction of the laws of heaven and earth, the warships could unleash their greatest power. Although the Devil Saint's boat was powerful, it was still far from enough in front of these 2 Emperor-level Spectre boats. Just one attack was enough to destroy the Devil Saint's boat, and not even dregs would be left. Come out, Yang Hongwu. A voice was heard. Yang Hongwu could not be more familiar with this voice. Who else could it be but the ancient Nether Divine King? Yang Hongwu's face turned even colder. It was indeed that bastard. Why was he looking for him? For the shadowless war body? The ancient Nether clan. That made sense. The ancient Nether clan's most powerful ability was to conceal themselves in the most terrifying sacred spirit body. Why was he looking for the shadowless war body? Yang Hongwu looked at Shi Bao and said, Big Sister Bao, do you know the connection between the shadowless war body and the sacred spirit body? If there was no connection, the ancient Nether Divine King would not have risked entering the sorcerer realm to look for him. Since he was here, there must be a reason. Yang Hongwu also wanted to know the reason. Shadowless war body, sacred spirit body? Shi Bao nodded and said, I know this. I know that too. So you have a battle spirit with the shadowless war body. No wonder the ancient Nether clan risked entering the sorcerer realm. Demon Saint Kong Chio looked at Yang Hongwu and said, Oh, you know that too? The sacred spirit body must be the combination of the shadowless war body and the ghost war body to become the real sacred spirit body. The real ancestor god of the ancient Nether clan comes and goes without a trace. It is the most terrifying existence. Even a great emperor is no match for it. It is an assassin who has surpassed the great emperor. Demon Saint Kong Chio sighed and said, Back then, I was assassinated by an expert of the ancient Nether clan. It was only a Saint Realm ancient Nether clan assassin. If I was not lucky, I would have died in his hands. The ancient Nether clan's assassination technique was the most terrifying in the world. No one could resist it, unless it was the legendary Delusion Breaker Sacred Eye. Only the Sacred Eye could see through the sacred spirit body's concealment technique. Of course, if it was not the sacred spirit body, the Delusion Breaker Eye and many other eye techniques could see through it. Chapter 712. Elixir Break. If you don't come out, I'll destroy your boat. Immortal King Guyu said coldly when he saw that Yang Hongwu did not move. Damn it. Let's go out. I want to see why Immortal King Guyu is so arrogant. Demon Saint Kong Chio snorted. The ancient Nether tribe was strong, but he was not easy to deal with. Okay. Yang Hongwu nodded. He walked out with Demon Saint Kong Chio and kept the Demon Saint's boat. After exiting the Demon Saint's boat, they stood in the void and saw a huge warship. It was the Emperor Grade Spectre ship of the ancient Nether tribe. This was one of the warships that Yang Hongwu had seen before, and there was another one behind it. A figure appeared. It was a huge projection in the void. It was Immortal King Guyu's appearance. Immortal King Guyu, you still haven't given up and came here? Yang Hongwu looked at Immortal King Guyu and said, I won't go to the ancient Nether tribe with you. You can give up. It's not up to you whether you go or not, Immortal King Guyu said. Back then, I only sent a clone, so I returned without success. But this time, I'm going personally. You won't be able to stop me. Is that so? Yang Hongwu chuckled. You're that confident? My cultivation was too weak back then. But now, my cultivation has improved tremendously. Do you think you can catch me? You can try, Immortal King Guyu said. Bastard, how dare you look down on me? Demon Saint Kong Xiu was furious when he heard the conversation between Immortal King Gu Yu and Yang Hongwu. How could he not be angry when Yang Hongwu looked down on him? He was the demon saint. Although his cultivation was not at its peak, he could still kill honorables and fight against sages. He unleashed his aura. An ancient divine sword was formed from his vigorous spiritual power. It was the demon saint's sword, capable of destroying everything and shattering the void. Boom! With a loud sound, the skies seemed to be pierced by the terrifying sword. The sword was so powerful and domineering. The might of the devil saint was incomparable. The sword pierced through the phantom of the ancient Nether Divine King and landed on the body of the ancient Nether clan's Emperor-grade Spectre ship. The Emperor-grade ghost ship of the ancient Nether race formed a golden defensive formation and blocked the terrifying sword light. The golden light was so bright that it almost pierced people's eyes. There was no way to open them. Not bad, but it's a pity that it's too weak. The ancient Divine King smiled faintly. If that's all you've got, you'd better surrender yourselves. Otherwise, if I do it myself, you'll suffer. Deity King Guyu did not care about Devil Saint Kong Xiu's sword at all. This sword could not even break through the defense of his Emperor-grade Spectre ship. Therefore, he didn't care at all. Detestable, detestable. Devil Saint Kong Xiu was so angry that he cried out loudly. Yang Hongwu couldn't help but shake his head. The difference between the demon saint and the real Kong Sheng was still too great. Yang Hongwu even suspected that this was really Kong Sheng's demonic avatar. If it really was Kong Sheng's demonic avatar, how could he be so easily provoked? It didn't make sense at all. One had to know that Kong Sheng's cultivation skills were definitely top-notch. How could he be so easily angered? Of course, one thing was for sure. This guy was definitely related to Kong Sheng. As for whether he was Kong Sheng's demonic avatar, it was still unknown. At first, Yang Hongwu believed it. Now, he was very suspicious. Wrath of the demon saint. At this moment, Devil Saint Kong Xiu's body was burning with demonic flames. He shouted, "Deity King Guyu, right? I'm going to roast your tortoise shell." The terrifying demonic flames suddenly flew out, shrouded the entire world, and burned around the Emperor-ranked Spectre warlord, constantly roasting him. The scorching heat spread from all directions. Even Yang Hongwu could feel the frightening temperature. Not bad. That's more like it. However, this temperature is still too weak. Deity King Guyu's voice was still as calm as ever. I don't believe that you can hold on for long. Devil Saint Kong Xiu gritted his teeth and increased the output of his spiritual power. The vigorous spiritual power continued to burn and turned into the terrifying demonic flames. The temperature continued to rise. Yang Hongwu retreated a few hundred feet and couldn't help but sigh. Devil Saint was completely enraged. An enraged Devil Saint had completely lost the ability to think independently. The angrier he was, the stronger he would be. This was certain. However, there was a limit to how strong he could become. Ancient Divine King was deliberately provoking him. The Emperor-level Spectre warship was very powerful, especially in the sorcerer world. The Emperor-level Spectre warship was not restricted by the laws. All the restriction runes on the warship had been activated. If anyone wanted to destroy the warship, they would have to destroy the restriction runes on the warship. Otherwise, one's strength would have to exceed the maximum limit of the restrictive runes. From Yang Hongwu's point of view, one had to be at least at the level of a great emperor to destroy the ancient restrictive runes on the ship. In other words, when deity King Guyu's ship was defending, one had to have the strength of a great emperor to destroy it. Otherwise, it would be a pipe dream. Of course, there was also a time limit. After all, such a defensive state required a huge amount of energy. However, this was just a drop in the ocean for an ancient race like the ancient Nether clan. Over the years, the ancient Nether clan had accumulated a lot of wealth to support the Emperor-grade ghost ship. It wouldn't be a problem for them to maintain the defense at full strength for 1,000 or even 10,000 years. After seeing through this, Yang Hongwu shot out restriction-breaking pills. The restriction-breaking pills fell from the sky like stars and hit the ancient Nether clan's Emperor-grade ghost ship's defensive restrictive runes. Yang Hongwu kept forming seals with his hands and channeled his dermic powers into the restriction-breaking pills. The dermic powers connected with the restriction-breaking pills and formed a restriction-breaking force. This force entered the restrictive runes and wildly destroyed the power of the defensive restrictive runes on the Emperor-grade ghost ship. Moreover, it kept devouring and growing stronger. Then, the force turned into a devouring beast. This devouring beast devoured the restrictive rune's power in a frenzy. At this time, the Emperor-grade ghost ship's defense was getting weaker and weaker, and its energy consumption was getting more and more terrifying. Deity King Guyu's face changed drastically. What's going on? Godly King, this is bad. Our battleship's defensive runes are weakening rapidly, shouted one of the ancient Nether Clan's elders. It's that little guy. Deity King Guyu narrowed his eyes when he saw Yang Hongwu's aura growing stronger. Chapter 713. Be greedy for life and afraid of death. Deity King Guyu said coldly, but that is the truth. Although Deity King Guyu didn't believe it, he had no choice but to believe the situation before his eyes. The entire warship's defense was shaking and the energy shield was weakening. If this continued, it wouldn't take long for the entire protective shield to shatter. Then what should we do? Damn it! How could this bastard break through the defensive array of the warship? All of them were shocked beyond belief. If this fellow had a way to destroy the ancient Nether race's Imperial warship's defensive formations and restriction runes, it would be troublesome. Once the battle broke out, the ancient Nether race's battleships would be completely exposed to the enemy's guns, which meant that the ancient Nether race would be in grave danger. Attack! Majesty Ghost Warship, attack! Attack with all your might! Godly King Guyu gave the order with a cold glint in his eyes. But Divine King, if we do that, Yang Hong will be killed. We won't have a chance to obtain the shadowless battle physique. An elder said, That's right, God King. You must reconsider. Without the shadowless battle body, there's no way to activate the sacred ghost body. The sacred ghost body is the hope of the entire ancient Nether clan. You mustn't destroy it. The sacred Nether body was extremely powerful. For so many years, the entire ancient Nether clan had been waiting for the birth of the sacred Nether body. Without the sacred Nether body, the ancient Nether clan might not be able to survive. After all, according to the prophecy, the 9 heavens and 10 earths calamity was coming. Only the sacred specter body could allow the ancient Nether race to survive. Only the sacred specter body could lead the ancient Nether race to glory again. Once the sacred specter body was lost, the ancient Nether race would most likely perish. Attack! Do you hear me? Attack! Ancient you divine king roared. I'm the highest leader here. Don't you understand? How could he not know this problem? However, he had no other choice now. If the method to break the Spectre warship's defensive shield was leaked, it would be a huge blow to the ancient Nether clan. Without the shadowless battle body, the ancient Nether race could still think of other ways. Moreover, they would have time to wait. Perhaps they would meet someone else with the shadowless battle body. Yes, Divine King. The elders of the ancient Nether clan nodded. Although they did not want to, they had no choice but to obey. After all, the ancient Nether Godly King was the highest leader here. His orders had to be obeyed. At this moment, the Divine King was the Divine King, the Battle Divine King of the Nether Battle of the warship. This was an Emperor-grade warship. Once it launched an attack, its power would be boundless. How could they block it? Originally, he was about to destroy the defensive array of a warship, but now that he encountered such a situation, he had no choice but to stop attacking. Seeing the situation, Yang Hongwu also felt a great sense of crisis. That's right. We just need to get closer. Unless the ancient deity king is prepared to die together with us, they will definitely not attack us, Yang Hongwu said confidently. Not bad. Demon Sage Kong Chio's mind suddenly lit up when he heard Yang Hongwu's words. He was surprised by Yang Hongwu's calculations. At this moment, the ghost warship's defensive formation was about to be destroyed. If the ghost warship still dares to attack, then it would be destroyed along with the ghost warship in front of them. In this way, it would be equal to perishing together with them. Furthermore, Immortal King Gu Yu was on the warship. He would definitely not choose to perish together with Yi Futian. Instead of retreating, the group sped up and approached Divine King Gu Yu's position. Within a dozen breaths, they were close to Divine King Gu Yu. Damn it, these damned humans. Ancient Yu's expression changed. Deity King, what should we do? Do you still want to attack? The Majesty Ghost Warship had already sent a message, and an elder reported to the ancient underworld God King. Attack, Ancient Yu said through gritted teeth. God King, no. Hearing this, all the elders turned pale with fright. Launching an attack? What kind of joke was this? Once they launched an attack, although they could kill all of them, they would also destroy the warship together with them. This also meant that they would have to die along with the warship. They were not willing to die. God King, you can't do this. Our warship's defensive formation is already at its weakest. Once the main cannon attacks, we'll be destroyed along with it. Who would be willing to die? No one. Most of the elders on the warship were shouting loudly to stop him. I don't want to die either. Ancient Yu said, but these two must die. God King, can't we go down and capture them? An elder asked, are you saying that you don't even have the confidence to do that? There are so many of us, yet we can't even capture a Saint Realm expert and a Deity Realm expert? That's right, God King. Aren't you thinking too much? The other elders nodded in agreement. They knew that the Ancient Yu Deity King had failed the last time. However, the Ancient Yu Deity King status was high, and they could not compare to him. That was why they did not mention it. However, now that their lives were at stake, they could not care less. It's not that simple. I can feel a terrifying power from him. Moreover, he has the shadowless battle body. Once he activates it, we won't be able to find him. Once he escapes, our Ancient Yu clan will be in danger. Ancient Yu God King knew this too. However, Yang Hongwu had a terrifying power that made Ancient Yu God King's heart palpitate. Moreover, this guy had a shocking amount of luck flowing in his body. Although luck was ethereal, it wasn't fake. It was real. People with strong luck were blessed by the heavens. It was very difficult to kill them. This could be seen from Yang Hongwu's current cultivation. What was his cultivation base when they last met? What was his current cultivation base? His cultivation speed was too fast and shocking. It wasn't something that an ordinary person could compare to. A person with such cultivation speed must have a heaven-defying talent. More importantly, his luck was like a dragon. He could be the legendary son of luck. It was very difficult to kill him. However, if there was a chance, once he was killed, he would be able to obtain his luck. We don't need to kill him. Can we just capture him? I believe that with the God King's strength, it'll be easy for you to capture that kid. When the time comes, we'll delay that demon while you capture Yang Hongwu. This should be a simple matter. Chapter 714. Princess Guyu, Deity King. Besides, it's not easy for anyone to break through our warship's defensive formation and seal. Perhaps this is just an accident? Yes, the third elder is right. This must be an accident. Our battleship is so powerful. No Saint Realm warrior has ever broken it. This time, it must be an accident. There won't be a next time. Another elder said, taking a step back, even if it's true, not everyone can break through the defense of our battleship. Right? That's right. Everyone nodded. Deity King, please reconsider. Deity King, please reconsider. Deity King, please reconsider. Everyone knelt down. Deity King Guyu was helpless. He didn't want to die either. Looking at everyone's eyes, he finally nodded and said, all right, get up. I agree. Cancel the order. Thank you, Deity King. Everyone heaved a sigh of relief when they heard that the Deity King had canceled the order. As long as there was no more bombardment, there wouldn't be any problems. They wouldn't die. That was something to be happy about. Inside the Majesty Spirit Warship, a woman from the Ancient Yu clan. She was Deity King Guyu's daughter, Princess Guyu. Princess Guyu was shocked when she heard her father's order to attack the warship. She never thought that her father would give such an order. Wasn't he going to perish together with the other party? What kind of expert did the other party have that he needed her father to perish together with them? She was well aware of her father's strength. Why did he want to perish together with them? Just how powerful was this enemy? Looking at the two people in front of her, they didn't seem very strong. Princess, what should we do? Should we carry out the order? A guard asked. No, wait. Princess Guyu waved her hand and said, Yes, princess. After a dozen breaths, Princess Guyu gritted her teeth and prepared to attack. At this moment, a voice was heard. Princess, the deity king has ordered us to cancel the attack. Prepare to capture the prey alive. All right. Princess Guyu heaved a sigh of relief. She knew that her father would die if she gave the order to attack. That would be equivalent to killing her father. That was something she didn't want to see. Let's speed up, Princess Guyu said with a wave of her hand. Princess Guyu stared at the screen in front of her. It showed the figures of Yang Hongwu and Devil Saint Kong Chiu. Princess Guyu had the Xianyu Saint physique, one of the strongest physiques in the 9 heavens and 10 earths. It was even stronger than the 10 immortal physiques. Of course, it was also the pure, immortal body. She was very strong, and Yang Hongwu could not sense it. However, this did not mean that Princess Guyu could not sense it. She had long realized that Yang Hongwu had an inexplicable attraction to her. So when the ancient Yu divine monarch gave the order to attack Yang Hongwu, she didn't want to do so. One reason was because of the ancient Yu divine monarch, and the other was because of Yang Hongwu. Yes, princess. At this time, Yang Hongwu breathed a sigh of relief. Without the ghost warship's lock and the sense of crisis, he relaxed a lot. Kong Chiu's back was drenched in cold sweat. If that warship really launched an attack, the two of them would probably be turned into ashes. They would be annihilated and disappear from this world. Not even a speck of dust would be left. Crack! With a crisp sound, the ghost warship's defense was instantly shattered. At this time, a tall figure appeared, followed by dozens of people. In an instant, Yang Hongwu and Devil Saint Kong Chiu were surrounded. Yang Hongwu, we meet again. The ancient Yu divine monarch looked at Yang Hongwu and said, "You should surrender yourselves. This time, no one will be able to save you. Last time, it was because of Tengaku. This time, there was no Tengaku or the leader of the Tianyi immortal abode to help. Moreover, this time, it was his original body that was making a move. He was very confident. This was the witch world. In this witch world, one would not be restricted by the laws of the ancient region. With Yang Hongwu's cultivation, no matter how heaven-defying his talent was, it would still be useless even if he could challenge those who were several levels higher. After the people of the ancient Yu clan formed an encirclement, their powerful aura enveloped Yang Hongwu and Kong Chiu. Kong Chiu narrowed his eyes. He was very unhappy. He was too unlucky. These people were actually targeting Yang Hongwu. I don't want to see you, Yang Hongwu said coldly. Haha, it's all right. The ancient Yu divine monarch did not care at all. He laughed and said, "This time, are you going to come with me willingly, or do you want me to do it? Last time, it was only a clone of mine. That's why you managed to escape. This time, you won't be so lucky." Even though the ancient Yu deity king was calm on the surface, he was extremely cautious in his heart. Yang Hongwu's luck was too shocking, and the demon beside him wasn't weak either. It wouldn't be easy to deal with them. What he was worried about was that Yang Hongwu had some means of escape that the Tianyi immortal abode gave him. The Tianyi immortal abode was much stronger than the ancient Yu clan. Those old antiques must have a lot of escape treasures. Once Yang Hongwu escaped, it would not be easy to catch him again. He might even have a way to easily break through the defense of the ancient Yu clan's undead warships. If that was leaked, it would be a huge problem for the ancient Yu clan. It might even be a destructive blow. Therefore, the ancient Yu divine monarch wanted to kill Yang Hongwu directly with cannon fire. I say, old man, why do you have to take me back? Do you want to take me back and make me your son-in-law? Yang Hongwu said angrily. Son-in-law, the ancient Yu divine monarch laughed and said, I do have a daughter. She's very talented and outstanding. She's several times stronger than me. If you're willing to return to the ancient Yu clan with me, I don't mind marrying my daughter to you. The ancient Yu divine monarch was not angry at Yang Hongwu's words at all. On the other hand, if Yang Hongwu was willing, then it might not be a bad thing. This brat's luck was amazing, and he also had the shadowless battle physique. If he was trained well, then he might be able to obtain the shadowless saint physique. With the addition of the nether saint physique, the ancient nether clan would become truly powerful. I won't agree. What if your daughter turns out to be ugly? Won't I lose out big time? Yang Hongwu shook his head and said, A genius like me, such an outstanding person. What kind of woman can I have? All of them are outstanding beauties. I'm not interested in your daughter. Therefore, ancient you divine monarch, you should give up. I won't go to the ancient you clan with you. Chapter 7:15. Terrifying ancient demonic beast, yes. Yang Hongwu said flatly. You are courting death. Princess Guyu was infuriated. This bastard actually dared to say that she was not worthy of him and even admitted it in front of everyone. Despicable, despicable to the extreme. Princess Guyu stretched out her hand and condensed a surging dermic power, forming a terrifying jade dragon and attacking Yang Hongwu. Boom! It was so powerful that it seemed like it was going to shatter the sky. Humph! Yang Hongwu snorted coldly. This chick was indeed formidable. Although she looked young, her cultivation had already reached the peak of the honorable realm. Moreover, she was a genius. The combat strength that she could unleash was almost enough to kill an ordinary sage. That fist hadn't even reached Yang Hongwu yet, but a terrifying coldness had already sealed the area. Its target was none other than Yang Hongwu, and its aura had locked onto him, making it impossible for him to dodge. Open! Yang Hongwu shouted and raised his hands. A huge golden dragon rushed out from the sky. It seemed to have come from the Archean dragon world. Its overbearing aura shocked everyone. The huge golden dragon was dazzling and majestic. A roar shook the heavens and earth. He reached out with his sharp claws and grabbed the white jade dragon, shattering it in an instant. Despicable. Princess Guyu was so angry that she trembled. She had not expected this kid to be so powerful. Her attack was easily broken. Although she had not used her full strength, she had used 80% of her strength in that attack. Infinite Netherworld Slash. Princess Guyu's figure changed and instantly turned into nothingness. Then, the sky was filled with illusory figures that surrounded Yang Hongwu. The princess has used the Infinite Netherworld Slash. This kid is going to die. Yeah, the Infinite Netherworld Slash is a supreme Tao of killing. This kid is no match for it. The people of the ancient Nether tribe discussed and nodded. In their opinion, Princess Guyu was one of the most outstanding geniuses in the ancient Nether tribe. She was even stronger than the ghost battle body. Of course, if the ghost battle body turned into the sacred ghost body, it would be a different story. After all, the sacred ghost body was the most powerful sacred body in the ancient Nether tribe. Furious dragon breaks the heavens. Yang Hongwu could feel the vigorous killing intent enveloping him. He took a deep breath and activated his golden dragon war body and battle spirit possession. Yang Hongwu unleashed his full combat power. At this time, Yang Hongwu erupted with a powerful force. His battle prowess had already reached its peak. Initially, Zhang Xian's cultivation was at God Realm level 5, but now that he had activated the battle spirit possession, his cultivation had reached Exalted Realm level 6. On top of that, with the 6th transformation of the Profound Dragon's 9 transformations, he could bring forth a fighting prowess that was 64 times stronger than before. Boom! The two terrifying forces clashed together. With a loud bang, a terrifying energy burst out in the void. The huge warship was shaken by the impact of this energy. Yang Hongwu's body was sent flying. He spat out a mouthful of blood. Although Yang Hongwu's talent was heaven-defying, there was still a gap between him and Princess Guyu even after activating the Battle Spirit Possession and the Profound Dragon's 9 transformations. After all, his cultivation was only at the God Realm. After activating the Battle Spirit Possession, he was only at the Exalted Realm. On the other hand, Princess Guyu's cultivation was already at the Exalted Realm. She was also a genius. When she unleashed her full strength, she could go toe-to-toe with an ordinary sage realm expert. Die! Princess Guyu was not going to let Zhang Xian off. She turned into a ray of white light and charged towards Yang Hongwu. She wanted to kill Yang Hongwu. Stop! A voice was heard. It wasn't demon Saint Kong Chiu, but deity King Guyu. A huge hand stopped Princess Guyu. Father, why are you stopping me? I'm going to kill this bastard. Princess Guyu was furious. Cough, cough. Yang Hongwu coughed a few times and stood still slowly. He smiled bitterly in his heart. He had thought that he could easily defeat Princess Guyu. He had not expected things to turn out this way. Deity King Guyu was even stronger. This time around, it wouldn't be easy for him to escape. He can't be killed, Deity King Guyu said. He's too despicable. Princess Guyu was furious. How dare he say that I'm not worthy of him? Who does he think he is? I'm not willing to marry him. Princess Guyu was fuming. If Deity King Guyu had not stopped her, she would have charged towards Zhang Xian once more. Young Hongwu, have you thought it through? If you're willing to join my ancient nether clan, I can give you anything you want. Deity King Guyu said, You can give me anything I want. When Yang Hongwu heard this, he was really surprised. What was Deity King Guyu planning? Could it be that he had taken a liking to Zhang Xian? Or was he trying to trick Zhang Xian into joining the ancient nether clan? That wasn't impossible. However, it would be difficult to trick Zhang Xian into joining the ancient nether clan. Zhang Xian was no fool. He wasn't interested in joining the ancient nether clan. Are you saying that I could be the master of your ancient nether clan? Yang Hongwu said coldly. You're courting death. Everyone from the ancient nether clan was furious. Who did he think he was to be the master of the ancient nether clan? They all looked at Yang Hongwu as if they wanted to skin him alive. If it wasn't for his special physique and his shadowless battle body, he would have died a horrible death. You want to be the master of my ancient nether clan? That's not impossible. Deity King Guyu waved his hand and chuckled. As long as you're strong enough, if you can become a great emperor, you'll have no problem becoming the master of my ancient nether clan. Yang Hongwu rolled his eyes. It was extremely difficult to become a great emperor. If he became a great emperor, it would be embarrassing for him to ask them to be his slaves. Once he became a great emperor, his strength would be unparalleled. If he wanted slaves, he wouldn't ask them to be his slaves. At the very least, they would have to be at the Great Saint Realm to be his slaves. Otherwise, it would be too embarrassing. Forget it. It seems like you guys aren't willing to serve me as your master. So, don't even think about asking me to join your ancient nether clan. Just give up, Yang Hongwu said. Father, let me take him back, Princess Guyu said angrily. Princess Guyu said angrily, When the time comes, I'll train him properly and make him my slave. This thought flashed through Princess Guyu's mind. This brat's battle physique is special. It's probably not the shadowless battle physique, but a special battle physique. Princess Guyu had a feeling that this person could make her cultivation progress further. In other words, with this guy's help, her cultivation speed would soar. Princess Guyu's physique was very strong, and her cultivation speed was shocking. She was already at the peak of the martial saint realm at such a young age. She was only one step away from the saint realm. However, the Xinyu saint physique was very special. After reaching the peak of the martial saint realm, there would be a huge bottleneck. It wouldn't be easy to break through this bottleneck. It was extremely difficult. If she wanted to break through by herself, it would take at least a few decades. However, there was a situation where she could find a pure yang immortal physique or pure yang saint physique and cultivate with them. Not only would she be able to break through the bottleneck easily, but her cultivation speed would also increase by leaps and bounds. Huh? Do you guys really think you can catch me? At this moment, Yang Hongwu laughed wildly. They were too naive. A cold light flashed in Yang Hongwu's eyes. His right hand emitted a strong light. A huge whirlpool appeared. At this moment, Yang Hongwu's right hand emitted a terrifying power. This terrifying power attracted the surrounding sorcerer power. What's this? Looking at the surrounding sorcerer power rushing towards them, the faces of ancient Nether Divine King and the others changed. Roar! Suddenly, there was an earth-shattering roar. A huge creature appeared. Its face was ferocious. It looked like a dragon, but wasn't one. No one knew what it was. Damn it, this is one of the ancient demonic beasts. You summoned an ancient demonic beast. Looking at this thing, the faces of ancient Nether Divine King and the others changed. When Yang Hongwu saw this thing, he jumped in fright. How could something like this appear? This ancient demonic beast looked like a dragon and a dog. It was extremely strange, especially the bone spikes on its body. They were as sharp as a wild boar's. Its long fangs were like sharp swords. It sent chills down one's spine. Terrifying demonic chi was emitted. Everywhere it went, the ground was corroded. Damn it, how was this summoned by him? Although the demon hand was powerful, he had never summoned an ancient demonic beast before. Emperor-class warship attack. At this moment, ancient Nether Divine King made a prompt decision. He ordered the Emperor-class warship to aim at the terrifying ancient demonic beast. A dazzling light appeared. It was like a huge light pillar that could destroy everything. Boom! The universe was penetrated by this terrifying energy light pillar. It landed heavily on the ancient demonic beast body. When the light dissipated, the ancient demonic beast remained where it was, motionless. Damn it, how could this be? All the elders were stunned. This was the full power attack of the Emperor-class warship. This attack was enough to kill a great saint. Could this ancient demonic beast be at the level of a great emperor? If that was the case, it would be too terrifying. Yang Hongwu, you bastard! Seeing how terrifying this thing was, Princess Guyu scolded. If you want to die, don't drag us down with you. She knew about the ancient demonic beasts. These things were terrifying existences in the ancient demonic world. These things were strong and tough. They were hard to kill. Most importantly, these things only knew how to kill and destroy. No matter what they encountered, they would be destroyed. Everywhere they went, they would turn into ruins or even nothingness. Even the Emperor-class warship's strongest attack couldn't hurt this thing in front of them. This showed how terrifying this beast was. It was impossible to kill it with a single blow. Well, I'll say that I didn't summon this thing. All right. Yang Hongwu stopped releasing the power of the demon hand. Although this terrifying thing wasn't summoned by Yang Hongwu, its appearance definitely had something to do with his demon hand. Yang Hongwu could faintly feel that his demon hand was related to this ancient demonic beast. Who else could it be if not you? Ancient Nether Divine King snapped. We can only rely on you now. Your right hand should be able to deal with this beast. Chapter 7:16. The demonic hand reappears supreme, being Guyu rolled his eyes. Damn it, if my warship could really do it, what I need you to tell me? The cannon shot earlier did not even break through the beast's defense. Even if they shot a few more times, it would be useless. Moreover, the beast might not give them the time or opportunity to do so. Shut your mouth. Princess Guyu was furious and shouted, You coward, father. I don't need his help. I can take care of that beast. Little you, don't mess around. Supreme being Guyu quickly stopped her. He knew his daughter's character better than anyone else. If she really fought, it would be a disaster. He knew her strength very well. Although his daughter was strong, she was no match for the demonic beast. Father, I'm not messing around. Watch me. After saying that, Princess Guyu moved. She grabbed a long sword with her jade-like hand. The long sword pierced through the air, and a terrifying sword chi shot out. The sword chi tore through the void and slashed towards the devil beast. However, to Princess Guyu's surprise, her sword did not have the slightest bit of effect when it landed on the evil demon beast. It did not even make a sound. Princess Guyu was dumbfounded. What kind of freak was this? This was a little too perverted. That was the sword chi that she unleashed with her origin energy and the origin energy of her Xianyu sacred body. It contained the supreme Xianyu sacred source energy and was extremely powerful. Even her father, supreme being Guyu, would be injured by such a terrifying power. However, the demonic beast was not injured at all. Roar! At that moment, the demonic beast let out a loud roar and stared at Princess Guyu with its huge eyes. It was infuriated by the previous attack. This damn worm still dares to provoke it. It opened its mouth and spat out a gust of air. The gust of air rushed towards Yang Hongwu and the others. Wherever it went, the space collapsed. Crack! Crack! Terrifying black holes appeared in the void. What kind of power was that? Everyone was shocked when they saw this. The crystal wall of the sorcerer world was actually unable to withstand this terrifying airflow. It was too terrifying and too powerful. The spatial crystal walls of the sorcerer world were extremely powerful and terrifying. Even great emperors might not be able to break through them. However, This terrifying ancient devil beast had actually corroded these crystal walls. If one were to be tainted by it, one would definitely die. Retreat, retreat. God King Guyu's expression was grave. It was too terrifying. He had never encountered such a terrifying exotic beast before. Everyone moved, wanting to escape, but they were shocked to discover that the ancient devil beast was emitting a terrifying suction force. This terrifying suction force sucked them in, making them unable to move and unable to escape. Damn it, how did this happen? The elders of the ancient Nether clan all looked ashen. This time, they were dead for sure. There was no way to move at all. They could only watch as the terrifying black airflow surged towards them. Once one was tainted by it and was struck by the impact, not even their bones would be left behind. I don't want to die. Damn it. Why did I have to come here? All of them were filled with regret. They regretted coming here and coming to the sorcerer world. If they hadn't come here, they wouldn't have died. Yang Hongwu, hurry up. Your right hand. Only your right hand can defend against that fella and that terrifying attack. Just then, God King Guyu shouted at Yang Hongwu. Yang Hongwu took in a deep breath. Even though he did not know if he could do it, he had no other choice. He could only hope that his demonic hand would be able to deal with this ancient devil beast. If he could tame this ancient devil beast and lock it up in his own little world, that would be awesome. However, subduing this evil devil beast was definitely not an easy task. The power of the demonic hand was activated. A gigantic vortex appeared, and from that gigantic black vortex, a gigantic hand appeared. This gigantic hand was burning with terrifying demonic flames. An unparalleled amount of power burst forth from that hand. The demonic flames grew bigger and bigger, forming a gigantic black cloud that covered the entire sky and covered the entire space. The impact of the immense power caused the entire space to shatter. A terrifying demonic aura was released. This demonic aura was way too horrifying, causing one to be unable to breathe. For Yang Hongwu, using his right hand consumed a huge amount of energy. It was as though it was going to suck his energy dry. Hurriedly, he consumed a pill. The pill dissolved, and the surging medicinal power spread out and fused into his dantian. However, to Yang Hongwu's surprise, the demonic hand seemed to have connected with the little devil world at this moment. It was communicating with the little devil world. From the little devil world, a surging amount of energy burst forth. The origin of the devil in the little devil world also burst forth, and an endless amount of energy gushed out and poured into the demonic hand. One by one, demons appeared. These demons looked ferocious and terrifying. One after another, howls that seemed to have come from the ancient devil world were extremely horrifying. Looking at the demons that appeared one after another, the demonic beast's eyes flickered with incomparable fear. It actually retreated step by step, as if it had seen something terrifying. At this time, the demonic hand changed again and condensed into a terrifying devil god. This was the devil god of the devil race. His face couldn't be seen clearly, but his might was extremely terrifying. His aura seemed to have caused the world to lose its color. His eyes were extremely terrifying. Rumble. The fiend god abruptly swung the saber in his hand. The world seemed to be cut in half by this terrifying blade. A blade light slashed out from the ancient void, and it seemed as if time was about to be cut in half. This blade ray heavily slammed into the ancient fiend beast. The ancient devil beast let out a miserable shriek as its huge body started to twist and contort. Its terrifying defense was instantly broken by this blade light. The blade light cut into its body. A terrifying wound appeared, and dark green blood flowed out from the wound. "Spare me! Spare me!" A voice appeared in Yang Hongwu's ears. That voice was very strange. It was a language that Yang Hongwu had never heard before, but he understood it as soon as he heard it. This made Yang Hongwu very surprised. Is this the language of the devil race? Yang Hongwu took a deep breath. Is this because of the little devil world? Or is it because of the demonic hand? Submit or die? Yang Hongwu said coldly. Chapter 717. How Hien Pagoda. I submit. I'm willing to submit. At this time, The ancient demon beast did not dare to resist. In front of this power, only death awaited it if it did not submit. It was not willing to die. It had escaped with great difficulty and came to this beautiful world. How could it die before it could enjoy it? The demon world was very cruel and the competition was fierce. However, compared to the demon world, this place was a paradise. In a witch world, no one could resist its power. There was endless food. However, it had no choice. It was going to lose its freedom and become someone's slave. If it did not submit, it would die. Contract. Yang Hongwu saw that it had submitted and made a contract with the ancient demon beast. This contract instantly controlled its life and death. Go in. Yang Hongwu's thought moved, and the ancient demon beast entered the little devil world. When the ancient demon beast entered the little devil world suddenly changed. The demon chi in the void surged, and the laws surged and changed. It became stronger. Compared to before, the little devil world was stronger by more than one level. Damn it, it's an ancient demon beast. In the little devil world, the Earth Demon Emperor was furious when he saw the thing that came in. This ancient demon beast was very difficult to deal with. Wouldn't it be fighting with him for territory and status? Although he was very unwilling, he could not be angry with Yang Hongwu. In this little devil world, Yang Hongwu was the master. Roar! After entering the little devil world, the ancient demon beast was surprised. This was a new little devil world. Moreover, this world contained pure demon chi. This was a huge benefit for the ancient demon beast. Absorbing the demon chi would allow it to continue to improve and break through. Even one day, it could become the demon emperor. Yang Hongwu could not help but smile when he saw the ancient demon beast fighting with the Earth Demon Emperor after being sent into the little devil world. These two guys were suppressed in the little devil world. There's not much difference in strength between them. It was good to let them fight. It was beneficial for the development of the little devil world. It was easier to stimulate the power of the origin of demons and accelerate the evolution of the little demon world. The little devil world had become stronger, and Yang Hongwu's strength had also become stronger, and his cultivation had improved again. 6th level of the divine realm. Now, Yang Hongwu's strength had already reached the 6th level of the divine realm. Although level 6 of the divine realm was nothing in the sorcerer world, it was quite impressive in the ancient domain. If he unleashed his true combat strength, almost no one in the ancient domain could be his opponent. Of course, that was under the premise that those old guys did not interfere. In the ancient domain, although there was a restriction of the laws, and the strongest power could not reach the venerable realm, in reality, the strength of some old antiques had long surpassed the venerable realm, or even the saint realm, or even stronger. For example, ancient underworld deity King's strength was only at the peak of the 4th step venerable realm in the ancient region. However, after entering the sorcerer realm, his strength had reached the saint realm. Where's the evil devil beast? Where did it go? Ancient underworld deity King and the others thought that they were dead for sure, but they did not expect that the evil demonic beast would suddenly disappear. This made them feel relieved, but at the same time, confused. Of course, they suspected that it was Yang Hongwu. After all, the strength that Yang Hongwu had displayed was too terrifying. What kind of terrifying expert was sealed in his right hand? That was a terrifying power. It was probably comparable to a great emperor. I don't know. Yang Hongwu would not tell them. Yang Hongwu, I won't force you if you don't want to tell me. However, this time, you must return to the ancient Nether Clan with us. Ancient underworld deity King said to Yang Hongwu after he did not find any traces of the evil demonic beast after checking the surroundings. Oh, you're falling out with me? Yang Hongwu said coldly. These guys fell out faster than flipping a book. They were just begging him a moment ago, and now they were falling out with him. Yang Hongwu, don't refuse a toast only to drink a forfeit. It's your honor to go to the ancient Nether Clan and join us, Princess Guyu said angrily. She didn't like this kid at all, especially this bastard who thought that she was not good enough for him. Women were all vengeful creatures, especially beautiful women. The more beautiful a woman was, the more vengeful she would be. Yang Hongwu didn't know about this. However, even if he knew, he wouldn't care about Princess Guyu. Yang Hongwu did not want to have anything to do with the ancient Nether clan from the bottom of his heart. Moreover, he still had many things to do. Going to the ancient Nether clan? What a joke! Going to the ancient Nether clan was a waste of time. A month later, it would be the genius battle of the 4 major immortal mansions. At that time, the key to entering the 5 extreme space was to deal with Zetian. Zetian was a powerful demon god avatar, and his cultivation was terrifying. If he had the support of his real body, he would be even more terrifying. Moreover, time was running out. What Yang Hongwu wanted to do now was to quickly raise his cultivation in the sorcerer world. He wanted to reach the honorable realm, or at least the half-step honorable realm. What honor? I'm not interested. Move aside, all of you move aside. Yang Hongwu said coldly. I have my own things to do. Of course, you can stop me, but the consequences... Oof. Yang Hongwu said in a threatening tone, looking at immortal King Guyu. As for Princess Guyu, she was completely ignored. Yang Hongwu, don't you want to know why I asked you to go to the ancient Nether clan? Immortal King Guyu said, I know what you want now. If you go to the ancient Nether clan, you can get what you want. Haha, do you think I'll believe you? Yang Hongwu laughed. This old man was indeed immortal King Guyu. He was like an old fox. 19 pearl, ancestral witch blood essence. Immortal King Guyu said. What? She said in Yang Hongwu's mind. Ancestral witch blood essence? How is that possible? Yang Hongwu was also shocked. 19 pearl. How did he know that he needed the 19 pearl? Putting aside the ancestral witch's blood essence, the 19 pearl was something that Yang Hongwu was determined to obtain. How do you know that I need the 19 pearl? Immortal King Guyu laughed and said, I have something called the Supreme Sky Mirror. Yang Hongwu opened his mouth wide. Supreme Sky Mirror. He did not expect it to be the Supreme Sky Mirror. That was a powerful immortal weapon. According to the records, the Supreme Sky Mirror could investigate everything in the 9 heavens and 10 earths. As long as one had enough power, even a great emperor could investigate. Chapter 718. Illusory Reality, Clear Sky Pagoda. Yang Hongwu had heard of this name before. It was rumored that the Clear Sky Pagoda was one of the top 10 innate treasures. It was extremely powerful. And the Clear Sky Mirror. These 2 items were used by Heavenly Emperor Hao Tian. Who was Heavenly Emperor Hao Tian? He used to be the servant of Tao ancestor Hongjun, and later became the master of the Heavenly Court, the ruler of the 3 realms, Heavenly Emperor Hao Tian. As for Hao Tian's strength, Yang Hongwu did not know. In the Legends of Earth, Hao Tian was not powerful, much weaker than the 3 pristine saints. It could even be said that he was just a puppet. However, Yang Hongwu did not think it was that simple. If he was really that weak, how could he rule the 3 realms? How could he become the master of the 3 realms? Therefore, the real Supreme Sky Emperor was definitely not a simple character. Of course, the Clear Sky Mirror and Clear Sky Pagoda were indeed terrifying and powerful. The Clear Sky Mirror was in the hands of the ancient deity king, and the Clear Sky Pagoda was in his hands, and it was incomplete. The ancient deity king's words were somewhat believable. After all, he knew about the existence of the 19 pearl. Perhaps he wanted to snatch the immortal pagoda from him? Yang Hongwu shook his head. The immortal pagoda had already recognized him as its master. To get the immortal pagoda, he had to kill him first. Moreover, even if he killed him, he might not be able to get the immortal pagoda. Why should I believe you? Yang Hongwu said coldly. Moreover, you just want the shadowless battle body, right? That's right. I want to obtain the shadowless war body. I also know that you don't have the shadowless war body. The reason why you can use the shadowless war body is because of the battle spirit in your body. Am I right? Ancient Yu chuckled as he looked at Yang Hongwu. Although Yang Hongwu had used the battle spirit possession many times before, he hadn't used the concealment technique of the shadowless battle body in front of God King Guyu. He had only used Ing power to raise his cultivation base. Are you surprised that I know this? Ancient Underworld Divine King said, I know many things about you, and I also know the person beside you. He came from the same place as you, but he's just a strand of demonic intent from an expert. Yang Hongwu was shocked, too shocked. This old thing really knew a lot of things. Who the hell are you? Yang Hongwu narrowed his eyes and looked at him. Many of his secrets had been exposed by this old man. This feeling made Yang Hongwu very uncomfortable. It was as if his whole body was exposed to the air, with nothing hidden. This feeling was really uncomfortable. I'm the clan leader of the ancient Nether clan. There is something you want to know and obtain from the ancient Nether clan. Ancient Nether Godly King said to Yang Hongwu. I remember that you wanted to kill me just now. Ancient you Godly King contradicted himself, which made Yang Hongwu not believe him at all. That's right, I didn't want to kill you just now. Godly King Guyu did not hide this fact and admitted it directly. It was inconsistent. His admission surprised Yang Hongwu. That's because you know a special method to break the defense of the ancient Nether clan's undead worship. If you were to use your full strength, you would only be at the Saint Realm, which is your limit. However, you were able to break the defense array of our ancient Nether clan's undead worship. If this method were to be leaked, it would be a devastating blow to the ancient Nether clan. Ancient Nether Godly King Guyu said. I have to consider this. I don't want the ancient Nether clan to be destroyed in my hands. Aren't you being ridiculous? That's right. I can break the defense of your worship very easily. As long as I take it out, anyone can break it. Yang Hongwu said, Do you have a death wish? Princess Guyu said, Moreover, I don't believe that you can really do it. That was just a stroke of luck. Little girl, you're too naive. I'm a genius, a true genius. I can tell you that I'm also a formation master and a talisman master. Do you think I can do it? Yang Hongwu raised his right hand, and a talisman seal began to condense in Yang Hongwu's hand. The talisman seal was very mysterious as it absorbed the energy around it. The mysterious talisman seal exploded, forming a powerful force that blasted a small black hole in the space in front of it. Talisman Master, you really are a talisman master. Moreover, you're a very powerful talisman master. Godly King Guyu was the clan leader of a clan. His eyesight was not something that ordinary people could compare to. I believe you. If that's the case, I won't let you leave. You can only return to the ancient Nether clan with me. Otherwise, I'll have to kill you. Godly King Guyu waved his hand, and all the experts of the ancient Nether clan surrounded Yang Hongwu and Demon Saint Kong Xiu again. You bastards, do you think that Demon Saint Kong Xiu, am so easy to bully? Demon Saint Kong Xiu, who had been silent all this while, finally spoke. He waved his hand, and a black sword appeared in his hand. Sword chi surged and surged, enveloping the surrounding space within it. Killing intent spread out. Ha ha! Suddenly, Yang Hongwu laughed out loud. He looked at Godly King Guyu and said, Godly King Guyu, you're indeed an expert of clan. Amidst the laughter, the entire scene disappeared. What appeared in front of Yang Hongwu was a barren wasteland. There was a person standing in front of him. This person was none other than Godly King Guyu. There was no specter worship or anyone else. There was only Godly King Guyu. He stood in front of Yang Hongwu with his arms crossed. The vertical eye in between his brows was especially conspicuous. His right hand was emitting bursts of light. Good. Yang Hongwu, you're indeed his successor. Godly King Guyu looked at Yang Hongwu in shock. He did not expect Yang Hongwu to be able to break through his illusion. Yes, all of this was not real. It was just an illusion that Godly King Guyu had set up. Demon Saint Kong Xiu's face was extremely dark. Embarrassing, too embarrassing. It was just an illusion. If not for Yang Hongwu, he did not know when he would be able to break out. How dare you make fun of me? Die. The long sword exploded. Terrifying sword chi charged towards Godly King Guyu densely. It was as though the sky was going to explode from his sword chi. The densely packed sword chi seemed as though it was going to slice Godly King Guyu into thousands of pieces. Godly King Guyu waved his hand. With a swing of his huge sleeve, he blocked the terrifying sword chi. A strong gust of wind burst out, causing a series of explosions. Demon Saint Kong Xiu was sent flying. He landed on the ground in a sorry state. The difference was too great. Godly King Guyu's strength seemed to have reached an unbelievable level. The illusion that he had set up was so realistic. Yang Hongwu immediately checked his little devil world. He realized that there was indeed an evil demonic beast in the little devil world. Chapter 719. Using a clone to lure the enemy. You're just a demonic spirit. How dare you show off in front of me? Immortal King Guyu looked at Demon Saint Kong Xiu with disdain. Damn it, damn it. Demon Saint Kong Xiu was furious, but he could not do anything to Immortal King Guyu. Yang Hongwu, you'd better come with me obediently. You can't run away. Immortal King Guyu looked at Yang Hongwu and said, You're his successor, so I won't kill you. Moreover, going to the ancient Nether clan will benefit you greatly. The Nining Pearl is real. Also, if you're willing, I'll betroth my daughter to you. His successor? Who are you talking about? Yang Hongwu did not understand. Who was this old thing talking about? Could it be the refined God Emperor? That was probably the only possibility. Impossible, I don't have that much time. There's less than a month before I have to go to the 5 Extreme Space to participate in the 4 major Immortal Mansions Disciple Ranking Tournament, Yang Hongwu said. What's so good about the 4 major Immortal Mansions? Immortal King Guyu looked at Yang Hongwu and said, You'll die if you go to the 5 Extreme Space. It'll be filled with danger. You'll face a great calamity and might die there. So what? Yang Hongwu said, Calamities happen all the time. There are some things that must be done. Even if I die, I'll have no regrets. You're indeed his successor. Even your tone is the same. Immortal King Guyu looked at Yang Hongwu and said, Don't worry. Follow me to the ancient Nether clan. I won't delay you. When the time comes, I'll personally send you back to the Qiani Immortal Mansion. I'm not going. Yang Hongwu shook his head. He did not know what this old thing was planning. Anyway, Yang Hongwu would not believe him. You're refusing a toast only to be forced to drink a forfeit? Do you think you can refuse just because you say so? No one can stop what Immortal King Guyu, wants to do. Not even your master, the refined God Emperor. As Ancient You Immortal King spoke, he grabbed out with his hand. Surging spiritual power condensed into a huge hand in the void and grabbed at Yang Hongwu. Yang Hongwu only felt a huge force, making it hard for Yang Hongwu to breathe. His body seemed to be confined by an invisible force, and he couldn't move at all. Yang Hongwu struggled frantically, but to no avail. What should we do? Yang Hongwu wanted to break free, but there was nothing he could do. Was he really going to be taken to the ancient Nether clan? Yin Yang Soul Lock spell? There was no other way. He could not move his body. He could only rely on his mental strength. Yang Hongwu activated the Yin Yang Soul locking spell. His mental strength burst out, forming mysterious runes. These runes were curses. They were curses formed by the power of Yin and Yang. The power of the mind, refining heart's sutra, also burst forth. Waves after waves of impact came endlessly. The sudden curse attacked Ancient You Immortal King's soul, causing him to pause. At that moment, Yang Hongwu regained his freedom. He immediately crushed a shift talisman and teleported away. Good. You really surprised me. Ancient You Immortal King was extremely surprised. He did not expect Yang Hongwu to escape from his hands. However, who was Ancient You Immortal King? He was extremely powerful. Although he couldn't unleash his full power here, it was still no small matter. His strength was in the realm of a supreme saint, or even beyond that. With a thought, his divine consciousness locked down the entire area within 1,000 miles. He found Yang Hongwu's location in an instant. Damn it! How can he be so fast? Yang Hongwu cursed. This old thing was too powerful. He found his location in an instant with his divine consciousness. Although the Great Shift Talisman was powerful, it was restricted in the sorcerer world. The distance it could shift wasn't very far. However, it wasn't in the lower world, nor was it in the ancient wasteland. It could shift tens of thousands of miles in an instant. You won't be able to escape. Ancient You Immortal King's voice rang in Yang Hongwu's ears. It was Ancient You Immortal King's immense spiritual energy that pierced through the void and reached Yang Hongwu's ears. Can't escape? Yang Hongwu sneered. So what if you're powerful? Yang Hongwu crushed a talisman. This talisman was a clone of Leader Tianyi. After crushing the talisman, Leader Tianyi's clone appeared instantly. Leader Tianyi was able to become the leader of Tianyi Immortal Abode. His strength was extremely terrifying, especially in the sorcerer world. Without the restrictions of the laws, he was at the same cultivation level as Ancient Yu Immortal King. Of course, it was just a clone after all. There was still a gap between him and Ancient Yu Immortal King. However, this was enough to stop Ancient Yu Immortal King for some time. Kill. After Leader Tianyi's clone appeared, a terrifying light burst out from his eyes. He raised his hands, and terrifying spiritual energy gathered. It was like a huge sun. The light was so dazzling that people could not open their eyes. A huge pillar of light shot out. The sky was about to be pierced through as it shot towards Ancient Yu Immortal King's body. Leader Tianyi? Unfortunately, this is just a clone. If it's his original body, he might be able to fight me. However, a mere clone is nothing in my eyes. Ancient Yu Immortal King sneered and threw out a punch. His spiritual energy exploded and waves of air billowed. The fist energy was like a huge nuclear bomb that blasted out and exploded in an instant. The two powerful forces collided. The surrounding space was annihilated, forming a terrifying black hole. The space collapsed and formed a powerful spatial storm that swept across the surroundings. Countless living beings suffered as they were torn into pieces by this powerful force. Yang Hongwu took advantage of these few breaths to split out another clone. That clone crushed the Great Shift talisman again and teleported into the distance. Yang Hongwu's original body moved and entered the Little Devil World. The Little Devil World condensed into a tiny particle and turned into a speck of dust that scattered in this space. It was difficult to distinguish it with the naked eye. At this time, Ancient Yu Immortal King had already killed Leader Tianyi's clone. In the space of the Tianyi Immortal Abode, Leader Tianyi was in seclusion. The moment his clone was killed, he suddenly opened his eyes. My clone has been killed. Something has happened to Yang Hongwu. Leader Tianyi's heart sank. After discovering that his clone was killed, he knew that things were not good. He wanted to travel through the void, but he found that his aura had been erased at the location where the space was. There was no way to find it. That was an almighty who was extremely powerful. Why did one attack Yang Hongwu? Why would such a terrifying expert attack Yang Hongwu? Could it be that he was targeting the Tianyi Immortal Abode? Could it be that the old man from the Z family of Tai Xianfu had made a move? This was very likely. Leader Tianyi's figure flashed and disappeared on the spot. At this time, Ancient Yu Immortal King chased after Yang Hongwu's clone. Chapter 720. Yin Yang, 5th Transformation. Void Yin Yang Shuttle. Do you think you can escape? Ancient Yu sneered when he saw Yang Hongwu trying to escape. He wouldn't be the Ancient Yu Divine King if he really ran away from him. When he caught up with Yang Hongwu again, he formed a giant hand with his spiritual power and grabbed onto Yang Hongwu. You can't escape. Just follow me back to the Ancient Yu clan. When he grabbed onto Yang Hongwu turned around and smiled. You've been tricked. You can't catch me. With that, Yang Hongwu's body collapsed and dissipated into the air. Ancient Yu Divine King was enraged when he saw this. He punched out and a majestic force burst out, piercing through the space. It formed a small black hole and sucked in the surrounding matter. Damn it! Deity King Guyu's face turned ashen. He had been tricked by a junior. If this were to spread, it would be a huge embarrassment. He released all of his spiritual power and searched around, but there was no trace of Yishiwen. Supreme Sky Mirror. If he used the Supreme Sky Mirror, he could find Yang Hongwu. However, the Supreme Sky Mirror wasn't with him. It was with the Ancient Yu clan. The Supreme Sky Mirror was the clan treasure of the Ancient Yu clan. It couldn't be used easily. Even if he was the clan leader of the Ancient Yu clan, he couldn't take the Supreme Sky Mirror out of the clan. Yang Hongwu entered the Immortal Pagoda space after entering the Little Devil World. The problem was serious. His cultivation wasn't strong enough. It would be difficult for him to escape from Ancient Yu Divine King. If he hadn't summoned Leader Tianyi's clone, he wouldn't have been able to escape. There was only one way to try, and that was to dual cultivate with Gu Shaoxian. After dual cultivating, he could break through the yin-yang fifth transformation. If he could obtain a powerful secret technique, he might be able to escape. Xian Master, are you willing to be my woman? Yang Hongwu pondered for a while, then looked straight at Gu Shaoxian. Gu Shaoxian blushed like a ripe apple. She was so beautiful that Yang Hongwu couldn't help but stare at her. A shy woman was the most beautiful. Moreover, Gu Shaoxian was beautiful to begin with. She was usually cold, but when she was shy like this, she was the most attractive. I'm willing, Gu Shaoxian murmured softly. She lowered her head and was extremely shy. Yang Hongwu held Gu Shaoxian in his arms, full of tenderness. He was not a fool. He already knew Gu Xiaoshuan's feelings. Yang Hongwu gently took off Gu Xiaoshuan's clothes, revealing her creamy skin. He kissed her passionately. Gu Shaoxian was incomparably shy. Her pair of watery eyes were like the crescent of spring water. Her whole body seemed to be melting. She cried out in pain. A majestic force burst out from Yang Hongwu's body and intertwined with the cold force in Gu Xiaoshuan's body, forming a cycle. Boom! With a loud bang, a terrifying force burst out around the two of them. The surging force exploded. Yang Hongwu's cultivation and aura rose crazily, and so did Gu Shaoxian. Around the two of them, an illusory image of a dragon and a phoenix appeared, intertwining with each other. The dragon and phoenix were auspicious. Auspicious clouds descended one after another, and mysterious heavenly sounds were heard. Yin-yang 5 transformations, Yin-yang void shuttle. A memory appeared in Yang Hongwu's mind. This was a powerful secret technique of the Yin-yang 9 transformations, the Yin-yang void shuttle. It could shuttle through the void. Not only could it attack, but it could also teleport. It was the power of space. Yang Hongwu took a deep breath. Powerful, too powerful. This was even more powerful than the Great Shift Talisman. It could mobilize the power of space to attack. The power of space was very terrifying. It contained the power of the laws of space. However, it was still at the elementary level. In fact, to comprehend the power of the laws, one's cultivation had to reach the level of a sage. Even honorable could not do it. However, the Yin-yang void shuttle that Yang Hongwu cultivated was one of the 2 strongest powers of the laws, the power of space. After learning the Yin-yang void shuttle, Yang Hongwu could freely shuttle through the void as long as he had enough power. You're awake. Yang Hongwu looked at the woman in his arms and said softly, Yes. Gu Shaoxian nodded. My cultivation has reached the honorable realm. Gu Shaoxian was shocked. She did not expect her strength to increase so much. She had reached the honorable realm directly. Yang Hongwu was also very envious. Yang Hongwu had reached the god realm before, and he did not improve much. He was still not at the honorable realm. He was only at level 6 of the god realm. His foundation was too strong. It was extremely difficult to increase his cultivation level. However, this also had its benefits. Every time his cultivation increased by a level, his combat prowess would also increase by an astonishing amount. Yang Hongwu was definitely invincible in the same realm. Yang Hongwu's current cultivation level was at level 6 of the god realm. He could definitely kill an ordinary warrior at the peak of the honorable realm. Of course, Yang Hongwu was no match for experts of the sage realm. However, with the Yin-yang 5th turn void Yin-yang shuttle, there was absolutely no problem for him to escape. All right, you cultivate well here. It's time for me to go out. Yang Hongwu said, Okay, you have to be careful. Although Gu Shaoxian had broken through to the honorable realm, her cultivation level was not stable. After all, it had increased too quickly. She could not help Yang Hongwu too much. If he was facing an expert like Ancient Yu, a mere level 1 of the honorable realm was useless. Instead, she would be a burden to Yang Hongwu. After Yang Hongwu left the immortal pagoda space, he appeared in the sorcerer world. The moment he appeared, Ancient Yu Immortal King sensed Yang Hongwu's aura. You've appeared. You finally appeared? A cold light flashed across Ancient Yu Immortal King's eyes. This time, I won't let you escape. Ancient Yu Immortal King teleported and appeared in front of Yang Hongwu. Ancient Yu Immortal King was extremely powerful. Naturally, he could use his boundless power to teleport to Yang Hongwu's side. Ancient Yu Immortal King, you still haven't given up? Yang Hongwu looked at this old man. He did not expect this old man to be waiting for him here. This really surprised Yang Hongwu. Give up? That's impossible. Ancient Yu Immortal King said, I have to admit that you're very smart to have tricked me. I let you escape last time. This time it's impossible. Is that so? Yang Hongwu chuckled. Don't be too confident. With that, Yang Hongwu activated the Yin Yang Void Shuttle. In a flash, he appeared in another location. Chapter 721. Sage Realm, how? How is this possible? Nothing is impossible. Supreme Being Guyu, you won't be able to catch me. Yang Hongwu laughed. Supreme Being Guyu snorted coldly. Although I don't know what method you used, you definitely won't be able to escape from me. A ray of light shot out from Supreme Being Guyu's eyes, and a light shrouded the surroundings, forming a gigantic realm that enveloped Yang Hongwu within. Little guy, I'll let you know the true strength of the Saint Realm. You can kill a venerable realm expert, but you can't resist a Saint Realm expert, let alone a great Saint Realm expert. The gap between us is so big that it's not something you can imagine. Realm, this is a realm, Xin Yu exclaimed. Realm? Yes, a realm. Above the honorable realm. Once you've comprehended a law realm, you'll be a true sage. In reality, Demon Saint Kongqiu is just a fake sage, not a true sage. Could a sage realm be even stronger than an inner world? Yang Hongwu was shocked. It was just a realm, and it definitely couldn't be stronger than an inner world. However, the void travel that he had comprehended allowed him to travel through space freely, ignoring space barriers. The inner world is the inner world, but a realm is different. The strength of a sage realm is a special space formed by the power of law. In this special space, the owner of the realm is God, the true God of creation. No one can go against him. In the realm, he's the true ruler. Xian Yu's face turned ugly. Yang Hongwu moved his mind. He activated the void travel again. It failed. Yang Hongwu was stunned by the fact that he had failed. He didn't expect his teleportation to fail. The extremely powerful void travel that could ignore space barriers actually failed. This was the 5 transformations of Yin Yang, the power of void travel. How could it fail? Yang Hongwu couldn't believe it. He activated it again, and again. He activated it multiple times, but it was still to no avail. Kid, don't waste your energy. You won't be able to escape from my realm. This is God trapping realm. Even a true God wouldn't be able to escape from my realm. Godly King Guyu was delighted to see Yang Hongwu trapped in his domain. Yang Hongwu's attempts to escape were futile. This kid's talent was terrifying, and he had many trump cards. If he wasn't caught off guard and trapped in his realm, he wouldn't be able to catch him. This guy had activated his teleportation ability in his own domain, and even he hadn't sensed it. How could he not be shocked by this? One had to know that he was the absolute master of this domain space. He had sealed the entire space. Nothing within the domain space could escape his senses. However, when this brat was teleporting, he actually couldn't sense how he was teleporting. If he hadn't completely sealed his realm, he might have been able to break out. A person's realm was extremely powerful. There was only one way to break it, and that was through brute force. Moreover, the trapped person's strength had to be much stronger than the opponent's for it to be possible to break out with brute force. However, what was Yang Hongwu's cultivation realm? He was just a mere God realm cultivator. A God realm level 6 was trapped in his realm, and there was no way to sense his situation. Deity King Guyu, are you proud of yourself? So what if you trap me? Can you continue to use your realm? Once your realm loses its effect, I'll be able to escape. There's no place that can trap me. Yang Hongwu snorted. He was careless and fell into Deity King Guyu's trap. He could only blame himself for being overconfident. Being too arrogant was a tragedy. Yang Hongwu was extremely depressed. However, this was a lesson for him. He would never make such a low-level mistake in the future. If he didn't, Deity King Guyu wouldn't be able to catch him outside. It would be impossible for him to enter Deity King Guyu's realm. Deity King Guyu's heart skipped a beat. He knew that Deity King Guyu's words were true. Moreover, if he wanted to leave the sorcerer world, he would have to seal his cultivation. If he did not seal his cultivation, the moment he left the sorcerer world, he would trigger the law of heaven and earth and open the gate of the realm of heaven. Then, he would be sucked into the realm of heaven and earth. Trouble. This was indeed a big trouble. Deity King Guyu couldn't send Deity King Guyu into the ancient Nether clan after capturing Deity King Guyu. There's a way. Deity King Guyu snorted. This is my realm, and I'm the ruler. I'll seal your cultivation realm, and that'll do. Ha, Deity King Guyu, aren't you underestimating me? Yang Hanwu laughed. Since you know about my right hand, you must know how terrifying it is. If you anger me, I'll release the seal on my right hand completely. At that time, you'll definitely die. Even though that was what he said, Yang Hanwu wasn't confident at all. Deity King Guyu's face darkened. He knew that Yang Hanwu was telling the truth. Deity King Guyu's right hand did contain a terrifying power. This terrifying power made him tremble in fear. Scared? Moreover, I have the Immortal Tower and many other trump cards that you don't know about. It's impossible for you to get the Shadowless Battle Body. You're dreaming if you want me to submit. Yang Hanwu looked at Deity King Guyu with disdain. Don't refuse a toast, only to be forced to drink a forfeit. You do have a powerful force in your right hand, but so what? When have I, Deity King Guyu, ever been afraid of anything? Deity King Guyu looked at Yang Hanwu coldly. He grabbed at the void with his hand, and a huge amount of spiritual power condensed into a huge palm. This huge palm covered the entire sky and grabbed at Yang Hanwu. It surrounded Yang Hanwu from all directions, leaving him with no way to escape. Yin Yang 5 transformations, Yin Yang shuttle. Yang Hanwu's eyes shot out a beam of light. He channeled the power of Yin and Yang and activated the Yin Yang void shuttle. It broke through the void and teleported. A light flashed, and Yang Hanwu appeared behind Deity King Guyu. Yin Yang first transformation, fire and water lotus. Yin Yang second transformation, Yin Yang millstone. Yin Yang third transformation, Yin Yang great palm. Yin Yang fourth transformation, Yin Yang soul lock curse. Yang Hanwu went all out. This old man's strength was too terrifying. Therefore, Yang Hanwu decided to give him a good show. He executed the first 4 transformations of the Yin Yang 9 transformations. Chapter 722. Escape again boom. An earth-shattering boom rang out, causing the entire world to tremble. In the face of this horrifying power, the entire world trembled nonstop. A huge cloud of smoke soared into the sky. The majestic power was like a tsunami, spreading out in all directions. It was surging and rolling, vast and endless. The ancient Nether Immortal King shuddered as his body was sent flying. This terrifying power entered his body and wreaked havoc in his body. He was furious as he roared. Damn it! He had never felt so aggrieved before. A junior had injured him, and it was not a light injury at that. Both his physical body and primordial spirit were injured. His strength was so much stronger than Yang Hongwu's, but he was still injured. This made him lose face. He took a deep breath. A long spear was formed in his hand. This was the ancient Nether Divine Spear, the most powerful treasure of the ancient Nether clan aside from the supreme Heavenly Mirror. Lightning flashed as runes appeared on the Divine Spear. Golden light spread out in all directions. The golden spear stabbed out, and the golden runes seemed to turn into small dragons as they rushed out. The void was lit up. This attack seemed to be able to pierce through heaven and earth. The terrifying, piercing power caused small black holes to appear wherever the tip of the spear went. Yang Hongwu's face changed. 5 transformations of Yin Yang, void travel. Yang Hongwu used the power of Yin Yang void travel again. Although the previous attack did not break the sage's domain, it did cause the sage's domain to weaken. Yang Hongwu could only dodge in the face of this terrifying divine spear attack. Next, his right hand erupted with an astonishing black light, and a world-shaking power erupted. A terrifying phantom of a great demon god appeared in this space. This great demonic god made a grasping motion with his big hand. Boundless power condensed and formed a huge axe. This huge axe was pitch black and had blood-red runes on its surface. These blood-red runes were very terrifying. They seemed to be able to penetrate one's heart and devour one's soul. Open! The great demonic god roared, and the huge axe was swung out. A black light shot out as if it was going to slice and tear apart heaven and earth. Boom! Another loud bang was heard, and a crack appeared in the saint domain of the ancient deity king. The crack continued to widen in the face of the terrifying power, like a small crack on a dam. It continued to expand, and under the impact of the powerful force, it started to become difficult to withstand. A small hole could destroy a 1,000-mile dike. As long as a small crack appeared in the sage's domain, Yang Hongwu would have chance. At this moment, Yang Hongwu would not let this opportunity slip. His right hand gathered a huge amount of power, and his essence, qi, and spirit reached the peak. This punch was thrown out with great force. The fist light was like a meteor, and it was extremely fast, and it was like a meteor. Then, Yang Hongwu's void travel again. In a flash, he disappeared from where he stood. He was out after the pressure disappeared. Yang Hongwu heaved a sigh of relief. Without the pressure, it meant that he was no longer in the ancient Nether Immortal King's domain. Now that he was out of the ancient Nether Immortal King's domain, what else could he do? There was no way for him to catch him. Without stopping, Yang Hongwu shifted again and fled into the distance. Damn it, I let him escape again. Sensing that Yang Hongwu's aura had disappeared in his domain, the ancient Nether Immortal King was enraged. He retracted his domain, and to his horror, the space around him was shattered and destroyed by his terrifying fist. If someone had helped him, it would have been fine. Last time, Yang Hongwu had only managed to escape because of the Sky Destroyer God and Leader Tiany's help. This time, however, Yang Hongwu had actually managed to escape with his own strength. This made the ancient God King feel extremely embarrassed. A cold light shot out from his eyes. There was no way he would let Lin Fan go so easily. Regardless of whether he was dead or alive, he had to catch him. In a flash, the ancient Nether Immortal King disappeared from where he was. Yang Hongwu continued to teleport and used the power of the demon hand to disguise his body. At this moment, Yang Hongwu was like a little devil, filled with demonic qi. However, this was just a cover. It wasn't too difficult for Yang Hongwu. Brother, there's a familiar aura in front. Mao's voice rang in Yang Hongwu's ears. A familiar aura? Could it be that the ancient Nether Immortal King is here again? Yang Hongwu's face changed. Could the ancient Nether Immortal King be so terrifying? He had concealed his aura and camouflaged it. He was even teleporting continuously. At this moment, his aura and appearance were something that even the people who were most familiar with him might not be able to recognize. If the ancient Nether Immortal King could do it, it would be too terrifying. No, Mao shook her head. It's the aura of an elder of the Tiany Immortal Mansion that brother once killed. Elder of the Tiany Immortal Mansion? You mean Ao Jingza? Yang Hongwu's face darkened as he asked. The only elder of the Tiany Immortal Mansion that he had killed was Ao Jingza. The one that Mao was talking about should be Ao Jingza. However, he had already killed Ao Jingza. How could there be his aura here? Could it be that the person that he killed that day was just a clone of Ao Jingza? No, it's just his aura. It's not Ao Jingza, Mao said. His aura. Yang Hongwu thought for a moment. Could it be that that old thing came to the sorcerer world before? It wasn't easy to enter the sorcerer world. There were dangers everywhere. The sorcerer world looked desolate and barren, but there were many terrifying, ferocious beasts here. Many of these ferocious beasts came from the fiend world. It was the fiend world's power that invaded the sorcerer world, causing it to become like this. In fact, Yang Hongwu guessed that the demon world was the same. The reason why the demon world and the sorcerer world suffered so much was not because of the war between the shamans and demons, but because of the war between the fiend world and the fiend world. No, brother, there's a warrior. His cultivation is at the late stage of the venerable realm. He has Ao Zhengza's aura on him. His bloodline should be of the same origin as Aozheng's, Mauer said. Bloodline of the same origin, so their bloodline power is the same? Yang Hongwu thought for a moment, and a thought flashed through his mind. Could it be Ao Tianyi, the most outstanding disciple of the Tianyi Immortal Mansion? Ao Tianyi? The true disciple of the leader of the Tianyi Immortal Mansion. If it was him, it would save him a lot of trouble. This guy was not a good person. He was the same as that bastard Ao Tianyi. They both cultivated evil cultivation methods. Chapter 723. Blood Dragon Great Demonic God Yang Hongwu stealthily followed him. His aura was completely restrained, and there was not a trace of fluctuation. Even the ancient underworld God King couldn't detect him here, let alone Ao Tianyi. Therefore, Yang Hongwu wasn't worried about being discovered at all. He was very confident. However, Ao Tianyi was also very careful. He was very cautious along the way. From time to time, he would spread out his spirit sense and scan the surroundings. At this moment, Ao Tianyi's cultivation was extremely strong. He had actually reached the exalted realm. He was extremely powerful. No wonder Ao Tianyi was so confident back then and didn't put anyone in his eyes. Yang Hongwu now knew why Leader Tianyi didn't deal with Ao Tianyi after knowing that Aozheng's was in trouble and cultivated evil techniques. This kid's aptitude was indeed extraordinary. His cultivation speed was also amazing. He would definitely get an excellent result in the ranking battle of the 4 great immortal mansions. The Tianyi Immortal Mansion had been below the Tai Immortal Mansion for many years, which made the leader of the Tianyi Immortal Mansion feel very aggrieved. The Tianyi Immortal Mansion had always been the #1 immortal mansion, but now it had been suppressed in his hands for so many years. This time, he finally had a chance to turn things around. Therefore, he wouldn't give up easily. In his eyes, Ao Tianyi was the one with the best chance to get first place. After Yang Hongwu followed, he saw Ao Tianyi take out something. It was a blood-red roulette. After seeing the roulette, Yang Hongwu's eyes shot out a cold light. The roulette was called the Evil Dragon Mountain Seeking Roulette. The Evil Dragon Mountain Seeking Roulette was a very evil treasure. It was made from the blood essence of 100,000 martial artists of the dragon's subordinate forces. The Evil Dragon Mountain Seeking Roulette was filled with a huge amount of blood, chi, and resentment. A blood-red evil dragon was swimming on the roulette. With a roar, the evil dragon flew out. Ao Tianyi's lips curled into a smile. I'm about to find it. When I get the inheritance of the blood dragon, great demonic god, the whole world will be mine. I'll be the only one in the world. Ao Tianyi couldn't help but laugh out loud. Blood dragon, great demon god? Yang Hongwu narrowed his eyes. How is that possible? This is the witch world. How could there be the inheritance of the blood dragon, great demon god? At this moment, Chiyu's voice rang in Yang Hongwu's ears. Chiyu, do you know what's going on with the blood dragon, great demonic god? Yang Hongwu hurriedly asked. A person who could be called Great Devil God was definitely not a simple character. The title of Great Devil God definitely represented a powerful strength. This was the world of shamans, so how could the great demonic god's legacy be here? This really surprised Yang Hongwu. Could it be that during the war, a terrifying fiend race powerhouse had fallen here? Thinking about it, it was indeed possible. When the fiend race invaded the world of shamans, they must have sent out countless powerhouses to fight the witch race. The witch race wasn't weak either. They had countless powerhouses. Those great witches and ancestral witches were powerful enough to reach the heavens. It wasn't impossible for them to kill the great devil god who invaded the world of shamans. The blood dragon great demon god was a terrifying powerhouse who invaded the world of shamans. He was the leader of the fiend race's invasion. Chiyu's eyes flashed with fear. His strength was terrifying. Back then, the 3 ancestral witches of our world of shamans had to join forces to suppress him. Yang Hongwu was shocked when he heard this. Wasn't this a little too terrifying? The 5 ancestral witches had to join forces to suppress him. One must know that the strength of an ancestral, which was equivalent to that of a great emperor. If the 5 ancestral witches could only suppress him, Then how powerful was the blood dragon great demon god? Yang Hongwu took a deep breath. It was too terrifying. With such strength, it was no wonder that Qi Yu had such an expression. If I'm not wrong, the blood dragon great demon god should be in the ancestral witch palace. The blood dragon great demon god's strength is too terrifying. It's very difficult to kill him. Therefore, if the blood dragon great demon god died or was sealed, it must be in the ancestral witch palace. Qi Yu said, "Follow this kid, and we can definitely find the ancestral witch palace." Yang Hongwu nodded when he heard this. He only knew the approximate location of the ancestral witch palace, but he couldn't find the exact location. If Ao Tianyi had the evil dragon mountain searching plate, he could find the place where the blood dragon great demon god died. Then, he could also find the ancestral witch palace. Moreover, Yang Hongwu didn't want Ao Tianyi, this bastard, to obtain the inheritance of the blood dragon great demon god. The blood dragon great demon god was also an evil guy. His strength should be of the same origin as his little devil world. If he could obtain the devil pearl of the blood dragon great demon god, his little devil world would be greatly improved. Ao Tianyi followed the evil dragon mountain searching plate and sped up. Yang Hongwu followed behind him and didn't relax in the slightest. Ao Tianyi's speed was also astonishing. If he hadn't practiced the Yin-Yang Fifth Revolution, he might not have been able to keep up with him. After about a quarter of an hour, Ao Tianyi stopped in front of a huge mountain. This huge mountain was like a huge, coiling dragon, winding and spiraling around. It was incomparably majestic. A powerful aura was emitted from it, making people feel shocked. What a powerful aura! It's really worthy of being the place where the blood dragon, great demon god, died. Looking at this huge mountain, the corners of Ao Tianyi's mouth curved into a smile. Finally, he found it. As long as he obtained the inheritance of the blood dragon great demon god, he could transform into a devil body. Moreover, it would be the most powerful devil body, the blood dragon devil body. The blood dragon great demon god was one of the most powerful leaders of the devil clan. His strength was very terrifying. His battle body was the blood dragon devil body. As long as he devoured his blood essence and devil pearl, he would be able to obtain everything of the blood dragon great demon god, including his physique and inheritance. At that time, who would be a match for him in the ancient region? When Ao Tianyi thought of this, he couldn't help but laugh loudly. However, when Ao Tianyi rushed forward, his body suddenly shook. A huge, invisible seal appeared in front of him, blocking him outside. A ray seal? Ao Tianyi narrowed his eyes. He didn't expect that there would be a seal here. So what if it's a mere seal? It can't stop me. Ao Tianyi's eyes burst out a cold light. He took out something with his right hand. Yang Hongwu saw it clearly. It was a talisman. As a 7th grade talisman master who was about to enter the 8th grade, how could he not recognize it? He couldn't be more familiar with it. It was a forbidden talisman. It was very evil. The strong resentment on the talisman could be seen. Chapter 724. Opening of the Ancestral Magi Palace. Open. The talisman of heaven's wrath rushed out and tore apart the huge seal formation. After the seal was torn apart, an ancient and terrifying aura was released. It was as if it could topple mountains and overturn seas. The huge pressure seemed to be able to crush the heaven and earth, making bursts of explosive sounds. It's open. Haha, it's open. As long as I get the inheritance of the blood dragon great demonic god, I will become the ruler of the ancient domain, the ruler of the 9 heavens and 10 earths. Ao Tianyi laughed wildly when he saw the seal being opened. He seemed to have gone mad and was proud of himself. Yang Hongwu sneered. He didn't know that the mantis stalks the cicada, unaware of the oriole behind. He was just the mantis stalking the cicada, while Yi Shiwen was the oriole that was waiting to reap the benefits. However, Yang Hongwu was a little worried about the ancient Yu Divine King after hearing such a huge commotion. That guy was so strong. It would be weird if he didn't know about such a huge commotion. Yang Hongwu didn't want to become his prey. Therefore, Yang Hongwu wasn't in a hurry to go in. Yang Hongwu knew that this was the ancestral Magi Palace, the place of inheritance of the sorcerer tribe. It was the real treasury of the sorcerer tribe, and the most important place in the sorcerer tribe. If an outsider didn't have the sorcerer tribe's bloodline, they would definitely be attacked. It would be strange if there weren't any restrictions in the place of inheritance of a powerful tribe. Ao Tianyi was just a cannon fodder. Yang Hongwu wasn't worried at all. Yang Hongwu was most worried about the ancient Yu divine king and the other ferocious beasts in the sorcerer world. Of course, there were also the sorcerer tribe. It was impossible that there wasn't a single sorcerer tribe in the sorcerer world. Yang Hongwu would never believe that. The sorcerer tribe used to be so powerful. There must be many other powerful sorcerer tribes in the sorcerer world. They wouldn't be wiped out in one battle. However, some of the sorcerer tribes had gone into hiding because of the great battle, but they would still come out when the time was right. Now, this was the ancestral land of the sorcerer tribe. The place of inheritance had been opened. Yishuan didn't believe that they wouldn't appear. That would be strange. In an ancient cave residence, an old man suddenly opened his eyes. This old man's gaze was as sharp as a sword. Although he looked skinny, he was filled with a terrifying aura. The ancestral Magi Palace is open. Who opened the ancestral Magi Palace? In another place, a great shaman said, "The land of inheritance has opened." Many people in many places had sensed it. These people were all from the Magus clan. When the ancestor Magus Palace was opened, all the powerful Magus clan members had sensed it. Of course, in the sorcerer world, other than the sorcerer tribe, there was also the demon tribe. In a dark place, evil demon Chi circled around, forming many evil, ferocious beasts. A ferocious-looking guy opened his eyes. I can sense the blood dragon great demonic god's aura. Has the blood dragon great demonic god seal been broken? As long as the great demonic god wakes up, our fiend race will reappear. Godly King Guyu was searching around when he suddenly discovered a terrifying aura. One was the aura of the ancient and powerful Grand Shaman, while the other was the aura of the evil blood dragon, great demonic god. This aura, could it be that the ancestral Magi Palace of the Magus clan has opened? Godly King Guyu was shocked. He knew a little about the Magus clan. After all, he was the leader of the godly kings of the ancient Nether clan. Although the ancient Nether clan was much weaker than the Magus clan, the ancient Nether clan had also participated in the Great War between the Magus clan and the ancient Nether clan. Therefore, the ancient Nether clan had a way to enter the Magus world safely. Otherwise, it would be very difficult to enter the Magus world. The journey was filled with danger. Even though he was very powerful, he could still die in the Death Mountain. The Death Chi in the Death Mountain was too terrifying. The Mountain of Death wasn't the shaman world. There was still the suppression of the laws there. However, the ominous beasts in the Mountain of Death had terrifying physical strength. They wouldn't be suppressed by the laws. Therefore, even some terrifying experts could die in a Mountain of Death. All of a sudden, all the powerful auras rushed towards the ancestral Magi Palace. Yang Hongwu immediately sensed it. Wave after wave of powerful auras made Yang Hongwu tremble with fear. Even though Yang Hongwu's strength was pretty decent right now and was extremely strong, he had realized that even the weakest of the auras of the powerful beings that had appeared out of nowhere were saints. They were much more powerful than him. The fact that there were so many terrifying existences in the sorcerer's world was simply too shocking. The Magus clan's foundation was indeed extraordinary. The first to appear were all from the Magus clan. Chi Yu was excited and wanted to release his sorcerer power to attract the attention of the Magus clan experts. However, how could Yang Hongwu let him do as he wished? What a joke. Wasn't that the same as causing trouble for himself? These were all great magi. Attracting the great magi would not do him any good. It would only cause trouble for him. He was not from the Magus clan, but a human. What would they think if a human possessed the powerful treasure of the Magus clan? They would definitely try to snatch it. Yang Hongwu, what are you doing? Why are you blocking my summoning? As long as I can contact the great magi of the Magus clan, it will be of great help to us. Seeing that Yang Hongwu blocked his message, Chi Yu was very dissatisfied and shouted loudly. Humph, do you think I don't know what you were thinking? Yang Hongwu said coldly. What's in it for me to pass your message to them? Why not? With your strength, it's too difficult to enter the ancestral Magi Palace and gain benefits. It's only possible to cooperate with the Magus clan. After all, this is the ancestral Magi Palace, not other places. It's safest to have the bloodline of the Magus clan. Do you think it's so easy to enter the ancestral Magi Palace? If you don't have the bloodline of the Magus clan, you will only die if you enter the ancestral Magi Palace. Chiyu said coldly, "Let me tell you, even the great emperor may die if he enters it." What Chiyu said was indeed true. The inheritance of a clan must have a bloodline restriction. Without the bloodline of the clan, he would definitely be attacked by powerful attacks. However, Yang Hongwu was not worried. He smiled and said, "So what? I have my own way." What a joke. He had a lot of trump cards. After all, he had reached the Yin-Yang fifth transformation and cultivated the secret method of void travel. He could travel freely. Although it would consume a lot of energy to use the void travel method of Yin-Yang fifth transformation when there were restrictions and seals, it would be very safe. Chapter 725. The tragic Chiyu, do you want to die here? Chiyu said coldly. Haha, you underestimate me. If I could die like this, I would have died many times. Yang Hongwu sneered. Even if Yang Hongwu did not know what Chiyu was planning, he could guess it. It was impossible for him to let Yang Hongwu out to contact the sorcerer tribe. Chiyu was too ambitious. He had promised Yang Hongwu to make use of him. Now that things had come to this, how could Yang Hongwu let him out? Therefore, when Yang Hongwu was refining the heavenly witch pot, he had kept a trick up his sleeve. Chiyu thought that Yang Hongwu did not discover his restriction spell. He was too naive. Yang Hongwu did not break the restriction spell that he left behind on purpose. He only broke it now. You broke my restriction spell? When Chiyu was about to activate the restriction spell in the heavenly witch pot, his face turned pale. He looked at Yang Hongwu in disbelief. Do you think that I don't know what you are thinking? You are an ambitious person. For your own selfish interests, for your own rights, you launched a war at all costs and killed many people of the Zhuli tribe. Such an ambitious person. Compared with Xing Tian, you are far worse. At the beginning, Xing Tian attacked the sky just to fight for the interests of the Wu tribe, but you did it for your own desire for power and for your own ambition. Yang Hongwu's eyes flashed coldly. He said coldly, Chiyu, you had better be obedient to the vessel spirit of the heavenly witch pot. Maybe one day when my power has grown to a certain level and I am in a good mood, I will let you out. Good, very good. I didn't expect that I, Chiyu, would be tricked by a young boy. Chiyu was not angry. Instead, he laughed. However, do you think that you can control me and make me submit? You must be dreaming. I, Chiyu, have experienced all kinds of things. After he finished speaking, Chiyu's body burned with flames. He raised his hands, and an axe appeared in his hands. Heaven-punishing axe? How is this possible? Yang Hongwu looked at the axe, and his complexion changed. How could the heaven-punishing axe be in his hands? That's right. This is the heaven-punishing axe. This is my greatest trump card. Perhaps you still don't know that this heaven-punishing axe has another name. It's called the heaven-splitting axe. It was refined from a part of the original spirit of the heaven-splitting axe when Pangu created the world. That's how the current heaven-punishing axe came into existence. Chiyu said, the world only knows that the tiger soul saber is my weapon, but they don't know that my true weapon is this heaven's punishment axe. No, it will be called Chiyu axe in the future. Use the heaven punishment battle diagram. At this moment, Sure Bauer's voice rang in Yang Hongwu's ears. You can use the heaven punishment battle diagram to suppress the heaven punishment axe. Yang Hongwu nodded. He had almost forgotten that there was still the heaven punishment battle diagram. The heaven punishment battle diagram belonged to Xing Tian, and Xing Tian's primordial spirit was within it. With Xing Tian's aura, how could Chiyu control the heaven punishment axe? There was no doubt that the heaven punishment axe was powerful. However, in front of Xing Tian, it was impossible for others to control the heaven punishment axe, unless the opponent completely erased Xing Tian's mark and refined the heaven punishment axe. Heaven splitting earth. Chiyu, who was in the heavenly magus pot, roared. The giant axe slashed towards Yang Hongwu, trying to break the seal of the heavenly magus pot. Heaven Punishment Battle Diagram. Yang Hongwu waved his hand, and the Heaven Punishment Battle Diagram and the heavenly magus pot merged together. The Heaven Punishment Axe, which was originally extremely powerful and was about to split the world in half, suddenly weakened. Damn it! Heaven Punishment Battle Diagram. Impossible. I've already refined the Heaven Punishment Axe. How could this happen? Chio's eyes widened. He couldn't believe it. He had obtained the Heaven Punishment Axe for countless years, and he had finally refined it. However, the Heaven Punishment Axe had changed again. It was out of control after encountering the Heaven Punishment Battle Diagram. How could he accept this? Haha. Chiyu, your hopes are dashed. You'd better stay in the heavenly magus pot obediently. You won't be able to escape from my hands. Moreover, the Heaven Punishment Axe doesn't belong to you. Give it to me. Yang Hongwu made a grabbing motion with his hand, and the Heaven Punishment Axe flew up. It broke free from Chiyu's grasp and flew towards Yang Hongwu. Damn it! Damn it! Chiyu shouted. I can't accept this. I can't accept this. How could Chiyu not be angry after encountering such a thing? Even the Heaven Punishment Axe was about to be taken away from him. It was too frustrating. This was the most frustrating thing that Chiyu had ever encountered in his life. However, to Yang Hongwu's surprise, the Heaven Punishment Axe and the Heaven Punishment Battle Diagram merged together. The Heaven Punishment Axe didn't fall into Yang Hongwu's hands, but entered the Heaven Punishment Battle Diagram. Observing the Heaven Punishment Battle Diagram, Yang Hongwu realized that a powerful force erupted after the Heaven Punishment Axe entered the diagram. A terrifying shadow condensed in the air. The shadow was so tall and powerful. It was a headless giant. The headless giant slowly condensed into a physical body. Yang Hongwu was shocked. He couldn't be more familiar with this person. It was the legendary Great Magus, Xingtian Great Magus. After obtaining the Heaven Punishment Axe, Xingtian was resurrected. With a giant axe in his hand, Xingtian's body slowly changed. A head grew out of his headless body. I, Xingtian, am back, Xingtian said. Xingtian. Yang Hongwu smiled. Just like the heavenly magus pot, the Heaven Punishment Battle Diagram was under his control. If it was Chiyu, he wouldn't be able to refine the Heaven Punishment Axe and control the Heaven Punishment Battle Diagram. However, he was different. His soul and physique were far superior to ordinary people. The Nine-Dragon Saint body was even more special. Xingtian's return gave him a huge boost in combat strength, a powerful fighter. Although Xingtian hadn't fully recovered, his combat strength was enough to fight against ordinary great saints. However, releasing Xingtian to fight would consume a lot of spiritual energy. Even though Yang Hongwu cultivated the Spirit Refining Heart Sutra and had a strong spiritual energy, he couldn't last long. It's you. Xingtian saw Yang Hongwu and said in surprise. Yang Hongwu was stunned and said, Xingtian, you know me? Yang Hongwu had never seen Xingtian before. Xingtian's tone seemed to indicate that he knew him and was surprised to see him. Xingtian quickly regained his composure and said, You're not him. Who are you talking about? Yang Hongwu asked. That's not important. Xingtian shook his head. I order you. Yang Hongwu narrowed his eyes and looked at Xingtian. He could be said to be Xingtian's true master. Xingtian was under his control. He controlled Xingtian's life and death. As long as he willed it, Xingtian could be sealed again and even die. You're tuning into the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.